Yo, assalamualaikum bari ngolo dalam sehu ka de display jiri ko like bata ba bi arwa logo July karoti morning sale 28th of July 2021 exactly 18:25 p.m. across the UK 19:25 p.m. in Europe it should be 18:25 p.m. in Angola in Tunisia right now in Casablanca 5:25 p.m. in the Gambia and 5:25 p.m. in Accra as well. Obviously, it should be 1:36 p.m. in Washington, D.C. right now. Bal content number of welcome to Wednesday's edition of Political Perspective Show. Already read out about content number the Gambia, the diaspora of Bismillah. Welcome to another Kacha. Comment card that in like always. The program that in the Masatala Tola. Bafula was the law, him in the Sultan regime, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. The program that the Masatala Tola and Predecessor to Mina program, the National Gambi Fanasico program to Kumaya, Diamoli for the Melialo. After days in the Fast regime, this in the House today, United Democratic Party in the Fast today. The Nimbio Daniel Calamari Bullfano, Sadani from Place and New Tank and the Cool for a Melialo, to me the Diamuka, the Melvin Akolka, and the guest already joined up. And I told him the Saferola, who basic cool for Melialo was a Banco Senafas today, other than Tanka, the second Kumul Fola, and in Kumul Melialo, Cosinatina Rosamano. On the Duala, Dolphin, coming Cafu John, nearly in Devekala, Jackin Dalabi Caring, Sonda Mulebe Imoto. Men ko wodi no wolo marioti pour assez continuer ko jate ke ndadi na mel maso to sa di la bel be courant de ala sila courant bon ka kayra ko febe sole ko do febe lockdown le ko na banko fa mo gambati ala man do kayra bay ci ti tem ko sa ti banko ko na nyaata ni election ni fa na ala man do ko kayra ko mo fu te ko kayra ko ala ma kola de kala kan de kayra ti mo be akana ken akana mo kili wona fa dimbe duwala nga duwa banko ani banko dingol be kana ku duwa me anon ko be killing na fakkel wo duwa man betea me duwala saban de frewol fane alama ida damen je kabla alama de malik frukele alama mustablay banko ni sumay ni damen alama na zitala le dingol ko fare mbokk yi mag la na bismillah tey aralba UDP lay bantara tey si waxtaan bi political perspective show di doore programme bi comme lu ko defee fii rek di leen nuyu di leen gërëm bu baax a baax support bu ngeen di jox plateforme bi ba pare di door programme bi ak ñaan yàlla ñu dugg si jàmm gën a si jàmm di ñaanal suñu réew Gambie tamit yàlla jàmm yàgg fa élection bu ñu juble ni ñu dugg si jàmm gën a si jàmm ba pare lu ci tegu rek mu nekk loo xam ne dafa njëriñ askan wi dafay njëriñ réewi Gambia ak waa Gambia man ñu ñaanal ñun yëpp yàlla continuously mu may ñu wér gu yaram because soo gisee ñuy wax di dugg si politics bi waaye di liggéey dañ am wér gu yaram nit ki soo amul wér gu yaram nag daal moo la du saf si àdduna ñi ñaan yàlla pour mu bàyyi ñu ak suñu pour ñu am kattan pour mun a def lii ba pare di ñaanal suñu réewi Gambia tamit jaama yàgga fa di ñaanal ñoo xam ne dañ faatu yàlla jégal lañ seen bàkkaar yi yàlla suuf bi continuer di seeda seen kaw di ñaanal suñu parti bi tamit United Democratic Party yàlla ñu am ndam on the 4th of December UDP yàgg na di ut réew depuis 1996 tey sax maa ngi doon seetaan benn programme Kër Fatou suñu kilifa yi ñu fa programme boo xam ne kii mu boja moo ko host UDP hour on Kër Fatou ñu am suñu deputy secretary general party leader Ajaratu Yam Seck Farmer, called Chemist in Jami, UDP Labarimaba, and in Mary Jones, or Itata program auto, Mary Jones, era program auto, que diamu lawyer double cola, new affair lawyer double program, I mean, you very much said, mashallah, learn for what I'm not solo, the explain wa Gambia why lawyer double, Nico Hamid of a Tahoe and Rewam, ba pare moom nekku na daal dafa dem di sos parti moom nit yi ñoo dem ne ñu ñëw jiite UDP te ay boobu mu ngi neeti so programme boobu noonu ñu ngi gërëm executive bi te programme bi fana every Wednesday dina ñëw programme bu am solo la on Kerifatu te this afternoon ñu bari ñu ko seetaan so loolu is very good mbaari wolu mina programme kummale sutola bi nin mbari ma na oncle même yaa ko Gambia Alpha Bale Martin nengeta oncle Lare Ceesay ani Oley Dibba le ñanta nala num bari Oley Dibba blow mutatale Oley Dibba bu tan ñew tay dafa am last minute hitch so ba mon ko make why oncle Lare Ceesay dina ma join in half an hour pour UDP suñu 5-point agenda bi bo xamne party leader bi du yaga dina ko launch formally yaga na ko wax te mu ko don wax sax bakadaji fum dem rek dina expound on the 5-point policy boo xam ne su waa Gambia jox nguur gi UDP loolu lañ bëgg a rule on those policy areas yoo xam ne on affaire youths, on health, education, agriculture, and also energy and digital infrastructure. So the 5-point policy for security and other things are also part and parcel of it. Civil service reform, prison reforms, all these things. The manifesto Sibopam is due to come out in October. So big kachabe kela waleti. But jani mina la janre. Jani no alpha babi na ndere kachabe de wanding kala jam ni tamsaba. Then ni alpha na kare nasi do kachakomo. It's unfortunate that Oley Dibba couldn't make it. She can't make it. Circumstances beyond her control. It was going to be her and Uncle Larry come first program where I take on from Galancourt will make. So that is understandable. But hopefully we'll have her in the subsequent edition. But I'm sure Uncle Larry will be able to fill the gap that Oley earns. He has the ability and the competence to touch on all these areas. And I'm sure if Uncle was in here and then Oley was here, Oley also will have the capability. Oley has the capability to handle. Mashallah, UDP, yalla may nañ ak ñu xam ne borom xam-xam lañ te am nañ experience ba pare xam nañ àdduna xam nañ naka la ñu doxal nguur. This is the mode of competition. So mbeñin kacal le kala jam bari janne mbeddu nañin kacal ko dorom mbe kudo le kacal jam do mandi ni tan sabante me an ko defal analysis mbe kala political perspective. So Gambia ko balafa warta bakele sometimes ikala fi kumbolale imeli yalo ko imang balafa ti warta bage na banko be balafa dale to right now imang ke politique kuti name is not a political statement. Not pen out of me, let me pick my pen. Thank you. You manke political. Gambia valaku balava wartale. But let me say this. Let me do something here. Let me share the Bantabap video on my page. Okay. Okay, let me just do this. Let me do some housekeeping jobs first. Okay. Let me do this, and then we will have the program. Okay, let me just do this. Oh, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Ngabamba masji announcement. Okay. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Politics can break a strong family bond. Aja Ndei Jata, former APRC National Women Mobilizer. Iko ole banta. Alabani malika fulfilai. Alabara ya subject sinawala. Iko Bamba Masko aning Aja they gone long way at Santiago Sule job. Ala elder sister. Even though I'm not particularly Alamani Manika for Kalajuge Jale family be. I just saw that on my Facebook timeline, Bambamas announcing demise of the former APRC National Mobilizer, Alamani Manika for Kalai. ama ala yaso altelo Senegal dunia betenne dron dunia o kan ka the Facebook o jibe sometimes ñante fam say la man scenario mal ya don ye dunia mo demande non suwalati social media WhatsApp wol dunia dal moya demande non lañ def ndank aduna bi ni ki soy dox ci suuf bi sax pour lo dof comme yo ya mom yo ya elif suuf bi ñu ne fofu la ñu mujjé suuf bi loolu ta yakamti doomi adama nañ leen def ndanka ala ma ne manin ko furgalay so mbari ngolo lafta kacha mem fula jam ko gambe la ko bala fa warta pa ke aman jare ndengo fali nan la moy laal nan la moy ka tolle wolonté amalo fano warata a jahalo warata male de mo adjectif la use la malon tol ni mo ne taketa jol bari jam fami ben na banko kam ani tilimbali amen ben na banko kam ale nga fere ke din December na banko bondi momo Gambia lansaroti ite do ibe to nyale fasa kan inyanta lon ko to nyaman to sabati na banko kam ngol je dalja ye kuma kalanta ngol fo ye ta fani yalla safela anu fani yade ni ba safeli fo kalon ko be fani yalla de fani ya te fanan ayo mandarga sotole fani ya isonno mo ka fo ni ko ibe fani yalla ida wala ka kalam ni be safiro la Facebook be fani ya safele sonno mo fo ka fo ni ko ibe men safi kon fani yalla o ka ke mo bel bari bi ngaaje ko me QTV la breaking news jibe kay ko TRRC la report o fanan ko dilele keta je pour ka submit president waya ngana fo 5 September bari ko TRRC fanan ko la report o man complete ila feta partial report le submit la chairman moy le Dr. Ceesay with all fairness ngana report o nak mi ba submit la ya submit in full in totality ngana even though ko recommendation on be gele but report o ni bari why September anyway ngalon ne ko iko kudemut si maleka fanyali kudeme si haman sinari hamni guri la de rare haman olaf bubu no wax len ma haman nakala ndol akoytam be male fam ko adama baro man kiyani TRRC la adama baro bi TRRC fama master faida adama baro la masukuna bi munetol la iteti itol be APRC executive manipulate la nyaming mais mo be tentolo be control ala baraka ba ndey Fatima Jammeh Gambia thank you on la bitama binta Jammeh balbe control mo be control la balbe control TRRC membe je ngalo recommendation on be hani man ko man fa yalla ne mel nyanta paradi bari president mo be sirim bi atenyen TRRC report tala faida atala seriously ndela nga nyim falan ala nyim tupi jamboto ala yalandi wala na ñi ping pong game bebe kala ali batum fo abe manela election o aka wole because mano ñi abe problème la ko ICC la ki prosecutor di amta jande bri esa fale la conclusion ko esa fale case to so international community wala position ay wolonne bari atella political agenda wala kumaya tati victim la koti so ñi TRRC o kañ na ngeen xaar rek ñu seet waaye decision to dan tulu Gambien le bulu bawo ale opportunity dina la pour nga falindiro ki December na bota ji ni lawyer da bosita o be TRRC report implement la so ñi tutan to le bulde in TRRC report ma implement ale ngam fongol blame as Gambian people and victim or them forgive la bawo ñin natale perfect timing iko be report so mi la September according to the constitution president will carry war within 6 months and enter white paper de dala so ala lon ko dim paro ye report di ala September October November December ate white paper de dala ibe talali ye trasiri ye tra ñu ñame wala ni APRC ya foy ko delta ñi report fengla ning alaman tangala gagneta watarate APRC shoto alaman tankala an example le bito na APRC shoto wata ala hajo jarata dena sinabe men kala bot ate fenkela report o be la sira ko nala cabinet bari ge ganiyo jale by the minister futira janne defense minister Omar Faye ako we should suck it up and move on and ñun mu kulit me alanke da malaka kacha aliye like a lame duck attitude me alonko barola man sekunda bata di kan TRC la ali APRC jale funtuta ye protest organize kunun ko jam barola be nyimbe koma atele be nyim protest be koma so iko ku de demut ganar xam nga ne guddi lañ de reer jërëjëf Ablaye Ceesay waaw laftu wala fa la ku demul ganar xam nga ne guddi lañ de reer jërëjëf léegi boobu am it's in my brain now ku demul ganar xam nga ne guddi lañ de reer wala bëggoon a wax sax jërëjëf so APRC ngolo bari ko lamin tamba ya fole APRC la lamin tamba membe UK jay kako ni ikai safaro ke Facebook ko ni executive tata ye ju janke man APRC la members of the support so tata ni baro coalition okay ako majority of APRC ta fa baro UDP le be win na and that will be the natural death of APRC ala ñing nte d'accord ala le ko lamin tamba ni sa Facebook ko APRC mo jamabe bi ite sonna executive la ko mo anu ñu be kala executive mam mo elif ja but let me just move away from TRC a little bit manan nan ko Gambia la ko bala fa warsale bi nin kunun mo be Facebook ko ali la may ñu audio la na la mo jamale yalom pa mo do bojang ay prison officer member aja Fatou Bojang anim pa modula interview ala la moy
aja Fatou dambang Bojang yo aja into mo pa modu Bojang ni home digital FM membe keren television auto nga kibarol le soto kibarol mini aron ko lafte nyinin kala fo to nyano wo kibarol le be sabatare bayri nga nyimmoy ko ite mu police le te me aron ko be do ko la prison service le bi inate bondi la do ko la min ko nga min moy wala mundi ko e ko UDP la pitin dolale to malon ko wala mu to nyaati fo wonten to nyaati wolo
love it all validate Falca audio numeric club because I've got my fan on because it's a bit hot again. I mean humid. The humidity is a bit high. It's 15 degrees hot, but the humidity. So I've got my fan on, so it's making that oscillating noise. So love it all for Falca audio numeric clearly bang then in the continental. Aja Fatou Bojang, former prison officer. May I long quite Sanjit Taneke prison. Adama Barola man sekunda ya bay iko because of yala videology aka fo lawyer dabo aka diama ka lawyer dabo support ko UDP official of UDP support alum iko a code of conduct of the civil service awale tina so Barola man sekunda ya sack fourth week iko video from the state house but iko chokore ka dia wolo fonda ko so doluko is okay so let me continue to play
benjine kala yinko mutonya de ban fotonya te
yinko de kun tu ton ta bige ma call sota moya ko la ko ma kuma moy de bari we ti do wile ti piadi ka wala kam ta ko mu kuma akonya ko ma kuma ko ila na talo wala ko president office ko ye UDP de ko dum andi ba don kilo la kan de don kilo bi na ko ka ko teni da bo jula ke ba bu ka kamfa ka ko nti ako hanga ko nin ko man video ni ke ka wi ya ko ka ko bari na ta remember video ni o man ke video ni ka brin 2017 18 ma pa ala lawo ya anu video ni mo man video ni mo man samba Facebook pa la mobile ngam pa video wala ko don kilo la ka ko so ntara na talo mina mo si na president level ako ja right now can think ya ko ya la di kan call ya na talo nim ko la so sai ko ko an ta di la di to no ko wala ka so di ka man anta da do ko la na ko si na ko nyo ko. Kain tayo na ako for receipt dyan. So, iyan ang to keep office. Kaya ko ako kaya office. Kaya keep office. Marate ko pa niya walang buba pa dera dito. Ako ba lokin ng plakeda. Manjiran taraje. Yan ka. Iko keep office ko nga lang ko. Ako niya ko. Siyang ba? Hindi ba wala nga nga ba? Dapat na. Aning ala so kuyul kita. Yang kumandi. Iko niya ko. Kula bekerin ko yeni UDP deni koleje ita ta UDP rari dula to andi ba do killa la mi ando do ko ka ko teno da bo jila ke ba ka ka ya ga ko ta en ta dia mo e pa ni video ninje ta o ta mo le na ta na operation ya mi ane ga ka jimbo ato la mi so na ta video ni yan samba ta to la office ay mo ga lo bo ta video ni tile ako niya po dyan pa niya mag-data din kanisa lang. Parang yung video man sa video, yung video mo since 2017-18 matang pala. Yaya. Ako, at mawalang pa 2017 lang, pa 20 year lang, at mawalang po lepo, kaya dyan yung puti pa is-stay tayo. So, at malang recommendation mo kalala, ay at ma-off to the DD na tablo, ni DD yan, ay step tani, DD maraka na step ta. At ako na yung 14. Kaya ako na kanya yung banda, ako yung taseta. Maala na kung naman kinuwaganda dyan, parang sa atol di dodo ko nan pala saraliman, tala para mula saralita, ano mo maganda na sa kita. Kung katawala niya nga ako, nakatami din dolari, chief of Italiela, nag-statement mo ta. Statement mo, mabilis sa tagi, ang tulay mga mati. Well, video yun tala. But it happens, kabiling 2017-18, ano ba, nakagyan, kwalento na nag-carry. Ito naman tao tala. Ito mo leake kita. So, bigyan aram to dito po mga kawayakit nita. Di la okituto. Min natatin di wala kam ta ko dismiss yan. Iko yan dismiss. Later man din na follow din.
Iya po ni dala na tendo ko yiti.
Iya po ni dala ko. Case ni ay namin dismiss. After ko yung magi ni makin. Hindi naman naman tata na office man na ba ako tika. Kita na. Kita lang parang mo si Orlando kuno. Kanang kelo. Wala kang no kaya yung kubo kaya wala pa dai tandi. Ikulo pa nang dito tete.
Ikulo pa nang beto sa.
To tete ha.
Mini kumbote no.
No ka ha. Ano malaro wala niya. Mang mo din.
Bari ya de ko de recommendation on kala de por que dismiss bari be dismiss follow. Foi ko ile ko say ba.
Yang dismiss le, because yes ni data DG office le ya kita buku balo ko no. Ijera tilinge. Tiyo mano de rati. Na ku deputy director floor DG professional. Ijera tilinge. So chief of kaniya maadil bili ya recommendation of dismiss. After ko chief of kaniya maadil di, ay maadil na yung tin data na office na ba ko tika.
Exactly. So so you do go from what that is present what you want.
Kabri 2011 June 2011 June sambilani 2011
amunda banko la fare mo ya kalle te do ko na present
o antarajere
so mbe din tambo min do rank ti mala be ko
ko bulo le dem bulo pan ni June sambila on the tip mo la ngaten ni sa ta intabi ay man dismiss ka na po ko ka do UDP de ko wala dem bala ka pa uto na daw dila diba ko ka kan na tanto ko ta tabe di increase kasi na ka ko yung anak ko no di ka nga di ala
so ba de ni kanya na ani biri be ta la do ko da ya do ye letter o de la bari biri be bonde la bi imande ta de la de
iya man de ta de na wala anan ko man de la ten ke bi la bi la ta or bi ko ko bilin da na lo ko ma ko salama alaikum alin ta lo ko alin na dismiss ya ne ka de na ana ba ga to se na la ni ang ko mo ra po le ya ko yang bayar to ma right to mo mi ano ko authority ka de na ma right to ka ta ulo do
andi ya ko ye nyimpo mo de nyimpo ko la nyin vid netalo wala video atata de ko president
office
yamera nyin fe ya to ye me foten sanji tangi be do ko wala dabi keta ko poloti andu nyinno musinya poloto fo ne dandalale no wonda
mo ne na mandala politician kula comme ça to ko kula ke ni ta ko en samba office le hakil tu ni politician kula mo ne na mandala andi to kam mo ko aketa min dai pete ta mo sin di ta wala le mo ni di ta wala ke yo ko na ka an mo ya ani ya de bela ka ro ka ke Facebook mai pa ya won ina ti ya won ina bela ka ja wala tetta ai mo manda won kuno tu to na ke ni mo di ta mandanta ka ko de ka kandiri intangi jadi ko ka kula ko dara ko dismiss
janni 4 o'clock dara ko e bay bari ila fengolo wala be bolle
wala mulle
okay so yeah during you meet with the director be
director bije na tu deputy director bije na commissioner bije AP bije operation bije
bismillah anyway aja fatu bedwade fanfan eko we ninda nimode dakilin sole ala kada jamale yele alama ala da jama yele thank you very much abaraka bake to talk to us on Mimbe TV and in Home Digital FM.
Okay.
Abaraka ne tantu.
Okay, Barigolo Melana Nilabu Nyola, Albela can you let me just send this message quickly. Then continue Kajakam. I need to send this message to Okay, I'll embala it. Oh, sorry. Okay, mbari ngolo mbele nga nyimo inyola. Yala ntolga nyim tonya fo platform wala to jam. Nka mem fale wala nyim tiko. Internet kabro debin la moy. De na UDP support otati na nga kuma fumi yalon ko administratively is wrong. Tonyalom, civil servant man involved political according to civil service the code of conduct. Omu tonyaleti. Ndenga d'accord wala. Bari aja binta aja fatu boja men for jam. And me pamodu bojan tendola I see Simpa Kendall Menda as a journalist, even though he's in quarantine at the minute. But I at a time that a journalist on the Kenyan Gedrani Kibaro Moi atata from the horse's mouth, Kakuobe analyze la side of the story. Man, you know, journalist on the Kelatan, journalist is so no one. Man, you couldn't like journalist or more. Right? Journalist, what his or her salt. Then use my reggae yakisi. Then you are Kibaro Janjam Monkudimoli Momo analyze. You inform the citizens. But a co attending video menga voko Lare Dibba Kebajan take a sabari, a new video that 2017-2018, what more college months of analysis. So Mona attend a side video because issued. That is the issue. Nimmansa Konda Manta Kalabante Yala B. Tatara UDP dimol by Nikam. Video men poster 2017 what would Diabe carry UDP ning Baroma Tala Baroma UDP Jamfa. So there was no problem with the video then, even at the time we take a UDP support, a coalition support, according to the civil service code of conduct, Imanya Neda Bulala political. Publicly. It's a cartel final, but civil servant obey Imanya Nakara social media. KWG. But monende kamvanyi kuoto. Adama baro. Adama baro yande virala lakira lulungola lede. Ye al Qurano ye woleta Dakar. Gambia embassy to. Nyimol men bebe denir la State House. it will be below Alquran. Adam Baro tell you like you will rule Gambia without fear or favor. You all for it. Batabedu la brother Sirif Tabedu wole Kalindi. And Alquran woman get Chahandi. Nasa talla fon bukolom. So ni ko be tilina banko dingol tema. Yemen ga ye tilim bali yale kajam 101. Discrimination. Yemen ke bint aja Fatou Bojana. Anyanda ke la Police Wives Association. Former Inspector General of Police Alamani Manin Kafaklare Damin Ntolbete J. Carla. This is not about him. But ala musolu I bebe police le and the barola movement okon fo ka diam ka tisa tolje muna nema wol bay al won fala be police le IGP fo wala musolu I bebe baro youth movement be barola political party kon and they can lole bi fo pa modo go netalo sia Police Wives Association supporting baro wo man yana kala police wol man yana double civil political kono comme the army commander drame même fois ko gambi army mo kan double political kono so munati na police la musolu la kafobe lola fo ka barola tisato dum so that is okay bari aja Fatou Bojang o manyana UDP support la baro ite ko tilintale e ko tilintale ite ko isilata alalati Adama Baro ñom mo jubadire wo mantra Gambia yalon te ka bala famel ka baro support atol nim baro be ka fadiale support ndele nafo andu nim momo hanyita yen challenge atol baro la mol kon na live debate soto on this so ning police la wife association gol se baro support no andu ni atara ni aja Fatou Bojang ni abe prison nya ay denkilo le bonde akaka baro la support for 2021 in fact iba promote la ita bayla o koita bale ko prekano ita sakla in fact iba command la state house le ya fa ito lo banku din kennoti ite fo ila imu kopololti bela rank kabulay Africa mbitano nyaato nyaadile animal farm wala be ji so bi ni momo e loi tinya bari ya tinya UDP la karola isebro and secondly I hope this lady is going to take legal action against the government, not because I'm a lawyer, but Saratol member Lare ka warning the D, ika mari command the disciplinary procedures or institute, the investigation but video from the State House. I'm going to State House the damn business. For State House, we'll let you have more videos given than the instruction of the prison. Imagine in prison director me or something Jane for being the Jane Lomba. Okay, control malonde, but the moment you can buy it, man get nyati. State House decision about all so Gambia civil service accountable to Gambia time. Civil service reforms man because civil service ni mo lu watina. Ani doku blal be woti. Ike command le warning di. Anu alinga let's do a memory flashback a little bit. What is sort of the Aisha to Ceesay? Member immigration. Fa fundi da audio de la forum ko naka UDP kajafika UDP la moto accuse ko tay jeroso yo wala jeje men man nake tonya fa ka nim baytu like diamole ako ñu UDP ngolo imeta nyikila wo mu civil servant le bara man ke tawala se humbalo anin advisor sol bota jani tata president director ya kawla ko nyin ka defend ale ñom mo jubade ringo ñi man sakunda atol juba di tabake la atol namal masila ala la fam ntela jero atol mo ala nyasi la moso yaaje hanama dingo ni be nyaton kayala akamdal ko suti yo tiling amanke ko meyete support way luwa tinya ye nyakasi ni meyete support nyinati na Africa Cairo bu ka sabati Africa nyaton ko ke blola alquran o kanni den tek sen loxos alquran yeni swearing in fonje ñim president wol ma important di ito ka jele formality arima baro ayo aya blome law alquran kan ama kuma yandi wallahi momo tun alquran si halaki illa bamti ñi ñala alquran mo man sa kala la bugolde itele ko ne tilina gambeno temo without fear or favor yo wala mini lona bolo hani membe fa sala na luwa tinya ibe busaro men lala kan nem mante la side ñanta wo busar kilo la lala kan ite mo president wati ye alquran yo wala kalin ye kali wala aliye menke nyinna ten wala nyante kala bo jamal bari muso nyi yemen fu ay alamuta in fact time mele be interview kala wotumo aliyama pamuru bo ka fa mal letter ba letter o nyinna tan ale letter o je social media le yala dismissal letter nyim me yalon ko ya safale wonatale I will try to retrieve that letter then ngari janjandi Uncle Lare kana demand direct Uncle Lare la na delay the demand direct then we will just because nana we will talk about policies okay, I will definitely like to talk about this later. I'm just trying to retrieve it. Okay. Later on in May, Safe. Later on in Alajibe. It's dated today, 28th of July 2021. Eko couple Fatu Bojang, New Yundum. Dismissal letter. This is from the Gambia Prison Services, State Central Prisons, Office of the Director General, Mile 2, Banjo, the Gambia. Echo, with reference to the above caption matter, I write to inform you that you have been charged and found guilty on 2 counts under Section 23, Subsection 3 and 50 of the Prisons Act, Cap 20, Volume 3, Laws of the Gambia, 1990. Therefore, you had been dismissed from act. In fact, it should be you have been dismissed. You letter for a grammatical error, not you had been dismissed. This is poorly written. Not you had been dismissed, you have been dismissed. And then the half letter, not had. Had is in the past. You know, when you are writing somebody, you have been dismissed, not you had been dismissed. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. I feel Uncle Lare Nata sign, but this is the situation. The letter is poorly written, and in fact, above caption matter, Wofana is wrong. This letter is not properly structured. But the letter itself, BIGB, later on, ika mo samba disciplinary level. Maybe me Uncle Lare in kala opinion as a former SP, me along by civil service to go long back. For by the just come more command then can later carry massive disciplinary procedure, investigations, but the most important thing, Jangwalon, animal farm in the Gambia. One rule for barrow supporters, and the other rule for UDP and other political opponents or supporters or civil service or civil servant or delegate neutral. But police or IGP la musoka involved. Akatara barrow furu ika donation odi. So they've never been reprimanded. They've not been fired. So muna na nyimbe fired. Wala na Gambia, ale na fall in the roke. No one the barobe fitino sambakani because nyinga juso le bondi. But I just want to say that the Gambia dinkendo tentula bake. Bring nyinketa molu volunteer already me alongo ikobe musola salary jola nta mari tofla jam. Mo kilbi fundita I commitment from this week about aja fatula salary jola. In fact, itolka jo menna ndala salary for the jam is unbelievable. Ika jo menna ninga fale jam you would laugh. Man sekunda ka jo menna. But mole fundi da kate be men dilala wo siata wotile. You know, so andu ngala be appeal la melbel la moy kampanta ba jam. Alinga nyim muso fasa because menketala is wrong. Not that mafuko I menke wala jam tekela civil servant or man involved lot but ku menke 2017 be pare ya discriminate le. So Gambia dingol lota in fact saya la salary mol ba jolo so adama baro nyim muso fon sa mina men soto la monthly salary wala siata ma sekunda ka jo menna. So me wo mo kendol tentula ba ke mel yalon ko ya call defo bi na la di am la body net o ko spo aja fatu nga try le nyaaw be bamba mas fon tentula ba ke me yalon ko kabri nyin keta na be di am kam and all the people me yalon ko they are standing in solidarity with her. Amanke ko mba fasa kan ne because I luwa latinya amani luwa nyin civil service code rotinya but medal na jamba na nkai na alpha bale be platform to jam I don't want to be disrespectful. I tell us getting up in battle for long. Uncle Lare, welcome to Bantaba.
You can go ahead.
Thank you.
Seku.
Yeah, Uncle Lare, binari.
Bijandro, assalamu alaikum, molbe.
Mbejandoro kore sali subodo yalo sise ko nangolo asolo albuka bay kore sali leyan subo mi ame damfu
Seku, don't go there. Don't go there. Kamara kundanko dole ventolia o kaya konto mfalin neto Ceesay.
Ya aba mana keba.
Je subo. Anata busuro la ko biyo konto mu Ceesay let.
Kamara ko bara manke sedi tide. Abanke sedi kundanko de.
Well, no, amanke sedi kundanko ti kamara kundanko le baral be killing.
Uncle Lare, Bismillah. It's a pleasure to have you. Ini na sister la jamu kulaja Oley, but come I go to talk. But ngalong ite betala jam, you will fill the gap definitely. So any audience also in your condom, janim bida policy issues also demanding me in kala ni topic of men for contendrom. Ye commanding faiji. Menketa ye moment by former prison official ya dismissed because of UDP supporter alum. Uncle Lare.
Okay, assalamu alaikum molbe men bella mayrola suol kono lalto tari. Ngamira molla salol diata len sinante o sitinga do ko. Ikanyim men fote ilabanta letaro men karan. Kabrintenga o letaro karan. Malla fanko, this is from a government institution.
Wallahi.
One. Ning civil servant infraction ke kafo me na loi tinya. Inyanta won la le sinya killing.
Yeah.
Ya won sinya fula.
Yeah.
Fo sabafan. Na ya nani jang. Ya samba disciplinary committee. Disciplinary committee lebe recommendation kela to the prison board. Kafo ko kariye nyintinyar sifale ke sinya killing fula sabafon nani. Na recommendation ke pural sa ala doko terminate. Alsa by doko.
Yeah.
Oldodo manke. This prison director general, Amulunta, he acted like judge and jury.
Yeah.
Over this individual. Amulunta ko atelemu jojoti.
Atalon kiti kuntulati.
Kiti kuntulati. And telephone nata ke moti me alonko kabrai kiti o kuntu akon tekilina kumo nyinebekel. Aike. Masa kunda sobe obukatama wanya.
Yeah.
This strikes at the core of this respect for rule of law. Ninko nga loa bunya. Loa nyanta apply la mo bele kam.
Wallahi.
Mo kanatara loa duma mo kanatara esant. Benga kanya. Enyi menkalate muna nema ke police officers wives association.
Bingo. No foga no.
Ani mo kotengolu many alonko civil servant lemu. Ibe government jamun nebe baro jamun.
Wala ano ate baro fon le wulo jako alkalo ya support.
Exactly. So onte kabringa nyin karang three things came. Miraldula sabale natang hakiloko. Miraldula follow wala mnyinti it was wrong. Imanya nabay. Ni manyim process olke katama nyin silol la pruka bay. Fulanjang. Ni ba bayla. Ke anyanta ke la kuso be olti mo ala doko ke sanji tandim fe lunkilin so manda kilindro e kai sai.
Ando uncle sitexi decision for a bonang state house. Monica video sama state house.
This is gross interference.
Political interference.
In civil service matter. The third one is nintemati mbe samanla.
Another samanla. Yeah.
Nintemati mbe samanla for lawful dismissal because they haven't gone through the due process.
Yeah.
Ni tata due process la ya bay. There is a wofang ni bay asa appeal no le bayro ni asa so ikata process ni na le fo ay futa dangoto.
Yeah.
Bar ko buka ke drong ya bay ni fang retroactive infringement le me alon ka keta sanji saba nyato ku sanji saba koman. Yena o fintindi bi ye mo bay wala. Bala free man tambi wala. Bala free ya man tambi wala. It's a gross abuse of power, and no sane bureaucracy behaves like that. Dulal me alonko ka mansala bundal taman. Ibuta mateng. Nata ko e loi kan. Nata ko e loi bunya. ibuka mate ñine fama jawata dictatorship because ñin ngonga democracy le soto je bar democracy soto ta mol ka bo state house ikata ka mol fasa kene bato ido cool kela because ila supporters le mwoti
Ilo adjust the one thing I thought something. Okay, great.
Nindo e nyinke imam fem iko alabai. This is such an injustice.
Selective justice is crazy.
No, selective justice lam.
Itole alon dalilo me anayake. But ko ila program oko no ya fonyame. Momo ekatela kabro kono ikilin nam. Ni furatela kabro kono. You will have to account for your leadership role.
Exactly. Uncle, ela device from ala volume ela device me made ala volume of an meat. Okay. Galaxy second angle Alman gadget or understand.
No, this electronic stuff. I just use them.
But uncle, menenga kuma dole fanam for janimbe do na substantive part of the discussion. Ning oath of office.
Oath of office, yes.
Kumayata ite akele ye kalindi when you became Secretary General President Kakele. President be a blola la Quran kanyali ko be tin na banko dingol tema be pare kana ko mo re ka doyande fo baro and baro ka mu misul mo because al Quran men forum al Quran is a holy book, the holiest, you understand. So niya give ni me amanke kamole la baro kan material evidence on the fundita where molde civil service the baro support kan. So now Barola electronic broom is just directed at UDP supporters. Among minimum Deutsche supporter from they don't care.
No,
it's just against anything you say no dabo. That case dole yellow dum data do good la West Coast region. Governor nyinga ko ita kanyin column dum ini wakana dum jam. Nakeba. Uncle, this is crazy. Ndola banku partisan CPN tinyale completely.
Yalon seku. Ikanyin out of office mem fote. Femman kumaya mentambitala nibe palaso dile. Ikar Quran ole muta wale Bible muta.
Yes.
Ye kali. Ike kali nyine kamako. Ibe tilinela dokudla. Memu luati ibe wala kela. Mente luati te da kela wata. Ibe nyimmenke kan. It's a violation of that oath. Ibela oath tinyakan. Kalo nyinga manna fasoto. Yo wala nanko kabring nyinko datitanko e kuma kilim fa kumayata wala munti. Nite o kali sifa ke nata manya nyimanya sifa fananke. Ni fate dunte la kabro ko ne ba fala ale nyadi.
Ha mamale ke ni la jela de.
Kudan tol ka fole ni fate yo sifa e kata ale ka mfele njankarin kuntu.
Kudan ko wala.
Tol ka wala fo ha wala net kudan demul buka ko dol. So this strikes at the core of all of the things in men kacha, mbina men kacha. Civil service fonga reform ke.
Fonga reform back.
Reform be kela nyine kamako. Is a political party support no. But nibe political party support la. Akanela doku o nasin. Ikana kukela doku la me alonko isi party kari fasa against party kari. Well, professional civil service. Fonga civil service reform ke because in current civil service atinya man that is signed. Atinya that it can bring force republic le. Although force republic la kuolu nepotism less yata je than anything else. Then came a civil service be du nyokon. Nepotism ketaje, tribalism ketaje. Yo, ya botaje nyimbije. Nyimbe menke kan hani ya buka odolki. Abe menke kan ya buka odolki.
Yes, serious.
Ni ya bakela at least ike nukunne.
nibe mala e ma dumala barka finti banta kene bato advice o eta police abe police all instruct la wala telefono sikay police what is civil service the one political extension of the party in power
yeah
wala na kubuka taman na civil service kono banko nyanta tala nyamen abuka ta nyam banko nyanta dokula nyamen abuka dokuwa nyam munemu because molbe sirin Ceesay kili fajiri muleka ida nie kuke me alonka mandia ruling party ye menke ni musundi wala yakel silebe munekela
but uncle ala the fortune is na manta bengo bedamin Nimbebe kekane carry dantan before
the election.
So nim Gambian ko bebe ninje kanne.
Yes.
Ko moda fole ma ninje so nimbega katrodi barola itawuta de abiate tele. So ning is the good time nada no nyinu ketale after nga elect already savo hey memala sanjulu ko tembe bar sign 5 months so we have opportunity golden opportunity to redress the situation. Pruka so tarrefa al bese ninje. Uncle Janim seminar do na program on proper then lafita formatting for an audience audio bako ngalonko Oley Dibba nyata tala janem prograde amen suru kamala
yes
me men kala wala uncle be diam la mani kamala ni anglais kam bawo na feedback financial ko some of these issues for governing to our some of our people it comes across better pretty into our uncle Bafla money into our deben a level best summarizing to try to fill the vacuum. I can't do it to only a level, but in back demanding. Kadiam Suruakamala Pruka Wolfodi. Uncle Johnny Mitala 5-point agenda about a baby institutional lebara. Kunun kule kada Gambia me another major headline. Bao Gambia on the barrel.
There's a headline every day.
Every day headline already. For the Malafi Agela. So couldn't for America at the level of the Carnifing municipality, KMC. Na Lord Mayor afundita nang a statement I silakendeta tinyare okeda alleged corruption involving the CEO Senabu Martin Sonko. Mojama kafa eko Sonko, Mrs. Sonko. Akimalo Sonko di barate fongoto mu Senabu Martin.
But an in finance manager le fanam.
An in finance manager. So baratelo CEO ti. Yes. Now deputy mayor for resigned. So scandal like at the level of KMC. Tali funded an Diamda Kola. Mojamaya tend to Mojamaya Jay, leadership mentor, I Kobe Seneandi explicitly. A paper saying I forgot Italy Union Assembly on leave, pending the what is going to happen, and they have put this investigations about to the local government and also to the police because it involved fraudulent act. $12 million is woman could was here battle. But Johnny Meduna Katakono for the benefit of all our listeners. Senator Martin, seasoned civil servant.
Yep.
Karanabalom and master's degree lesson in public policy. I currently University of Gambia and another Ghana, Kala master's degree. But almost now I lost 20 years Gamtel and also briefly I do go for the Bureau of Central Statistics. Before I came here, I've been a Bureau of Central Statistics, like very good position for them occupy water. So more me I do go on currently. But in that kimparo then so that koto ko tapale ya adalta olale. So into the details. Amanke when you know see follow today. I have I'm privy to a lot of information about this woman. But I will not say that on Bantabajang. We'll just restrict it to this issue, but we'll be on the spotlight. So Musoning but in Silla before Batino di Mr. Ceesay Diamo. Malam for Kibaro Moile, very credible information, also to the local government minister drama. Akomuso eneko fentebola nyinkodo. Ani muso diamtale musoni mo jamala be diamu kan Gambia yalo Gambia is small
yeah ni diamu ta drone
minister bi asona mane dara du sigena munen silandi iba ko politicize kan sign NPP versus UDP because NPP supporter the Facebook or they want to twist this kale blame so but the eco minister Drame reportedly musoni ne fon kata fo mo jamale ni mol be ya call na diam da sa fo ko bulen wori minister bi call na mo dara du sigena banko kamba corruption minister of business labiji ka for dara dina sigena or not who is Mr. Drame minister to try to stop Mome Alonko allegedly involved in a fraudulent act, Mr. Ceesay.
Ya lo membe nyinko kono seko. Jama. Ning tonya ni wulia nyoborenke. Jama wulia le ka taria ganyero kela. Tonya la ganyero abuka taria. Tubabol ko ning tonya ning wulia wulita nyola somanda wulia ka dunia benne si nyafula janin tonya bala samato but at the end of the day tonya la kalaba Musa natra kwa tele nyimfo if at all he said this
we put a caveat around it
if he said it it's a gross violation of his oath one amanya na fola because loi tinyale be nyinku okon fo ye ko kisi ya keso soto ya itandiko musun ningu boytale o amamboy den ni musabe fem fola safu but haniwo ate as a minister ni tata on strictly procedural basis ni tata kolkata ma nyame na karol ala permanent secretary le nyanta fem fola nyinto because it's an administrative issue administration quality but atela dakije points to the same issues we've been talking about earlier political interference in the civil service and in the local government authorities nyimolte nyin tuno la je because itolia mera sembo mumenti wala mobe tonya kan abe wulia kan ni ba ko madron it's fine wala tinna banko tinyata banko be damen wallahi se ko ni tata bolon kono ni modol diamute fa ba lon nako mol man kontan mol man kontan ntol dol kata bolon kono yalo wati min tata bolon kono ngaken na Twitter wala Facebook amin home kudangal kamba dufin barin kata dulal mento mbuka wolf doton kama la nga cross ngani pasimasi la ben koto pasimasi road ta ngata fo wuli silo karobe ibuke fam fo mole kalole ini mole kacha drong politiko e dum ko mol man konta because banko be tama kanya mol man kontan because sunya robe man sakunda kono nya mol man kontan because fengol da be jawyari nyame Gambia drone nen kaje nim fengol da seleta bu kaji fen da seleta dunia kono depending on the world market mbenga wolonne na seleta kajile na jita ya fo mole nim fenkari da jita bar Gambia na seleta droit bu kaji so balwo be mol la balwo mu problem on mol la jata kende amu problem on mol la karango education mu problem on wala tinna ko nin ayatara ko mol be lamoy lan tol dolla tol nga experience to banku jama kan ni mol be lamoy lan tol ikanyim 5-point agenda men fote mol nyante mira la kende kel andonyim 5-point agenda abondita UDP la draft manifesto la wo draft manifesto mbafola ngale kamato den ngafo manikama wo draft manifesto Our foundation is based on 2 words: transformational change. Transformational change mumuneti niena funding ke wala karoma ye jata kende ala karoma, education la karoma, agriculture la karoma. Fem bije, they all came from the colonial relic. Jawara ya try I institutional dol I dula bundal dol yel. Fenke Gambia Commercial and Development Bank, GGC, NTC, Gambia Airways. I all be Londila, I London yine kama, purka kodo doku, kadoku bundal yele Gambia dimuli. But at the end, alamol sitale, ye be privatized, ye be wafi. Kabri ye be wafi. Moment drongo bota doku la okono, mo bukata obondino. Wole foire ya start bolonkono. Nunto bolonkono kol buloke ko benne. GPMB drone na privatization 440 doku o 440 le tinyata je. Doku kemen nani anin tan nani. Wol fananka mol men support mo ma o Kenya. Nin dula kote wol fanambe woni. So ya nata I fenkuta dandal lakan bara yo fenkuta dandal mel lakan ay lakan nyine kama si kodo sunya no nyame. So we are back to square one. Fonga institutional reforms ke ka falendiroke ha anda amanke falendiroti me alonko falendiri jawole ma abekela falendiroti me alonko banko si banko nyanta menkela banko dimuli asi sembo soto asi kodo soto kawolke walati na UDP la manifesto I should know better because that ntelemu coach chati ufonkoto Oley is my co-chair. Na kabrimbe outline o nyinkela kabrimba dadala nte personal insita lemko mo sinyin dada no nyadile me alonko na problem ol men soto sanji tallul nin koma nyin document killing si wol be address no ayin samba bladot ana nga insita nko mensa keno ron wolem transformational change. Transformational change mumunati ne sector ma budoku bunda ma isa irwandi no la bete akabe nyame ha mbe wole munna transformational agenda nyin 5-point agenda botaw wo manifesto la kon now munati nanko transformational agenda munati nanko falendiro eke lafta banko me alonko banku dingulu isi karang isi jata kende asoto isi fandani ninno sila betolier soto telephone line betolier soto ninga o falendiri sifake dia ku ya fo banko etanya munati nan la tawala Rwanda ya kele Rwanda bota kelo kono momen fata je wuli keme signing fe 880,000 people died in Rwanda. But Rwanda is a transformed society. Rwanda falintal. For tubabol nyakabo Rwanda fe sign. Botswana fanan the same thing, a falintal. Amamfuta Rwanda tama barabinaka. Namibia the same thing. So nini bankol signil falindir sifa ke no me ila banku dingul Rwanda. Munati na Gambia ta ke no la. Gambia nyanta ke la. So walati na transformation womuni muneti ni misali fe na dokuo nying nyanta nafa jela na banku dingulu balale immediately.
Ila balu nyato
ila jata kende ato agriculture to fengol be ni ake drong yaji je to our from a transformational change leading to transformational development results. Well, now for manika kamotote. Now, wale mu na ankoti na laftafuta la dame ikafo me capable state. Capable state konga fanyame Rwanda is a good example in Africa. Rwanda mu example betoleti, Namibia mu example betoleti. South Africa to a certain extent example olem. But the best example is Singapore. And now Vietnam is coming. Vietnam of all places. Vietnam binaka. Ntata Cambodia to do a training, leadership training for Nkoje. I was shocked to see how Cambodia was moving. So we'll be back can munati na Gambia take nola nimisal fe na corruption no mananku.
Yeah.
Kodo nyanta tala dame na etaji. Men nyanta men soto la yadial. Ikana mo busa busola me alon ko busa kurum la. Ndambangol lemu ninga issue soto ninga problem ol soto konna alfal nunto e ka kenya me ngasi nga kacha nga bang ngata. Nte lafta o transformation changes sifala o falindir sifala. Una wo capable state wallahi se ku kalo afeta jaw.
But uncle, isn't you kind with the lack of the political will? Ning political will kumaya tabake because ning is all a better like can transformational change or come out UDP manifesto to nyaming. Walanka falindro samana falindro me ango falindro senemonom. Na doku bundalo na institutional to pour banko base na faso de bari ning political will tije comme big Gambia au courant la benna because the bigger cut off ngole ko ning transformational change one of the bedrock of the coalition right the bedrock of the coalition agenda transformational change tunga falindroke ya jamela tamandro kulu na fatawala but I feel like lack of political will we back to square one na tungo mare na jere ngalo na kudango ako abita kan tanji ako kila kumosen and wrong ako I am just going home from Tangi. People are totally fed up with this government. Ako mole kamfare back at it.
Yep. Mol be kamfare ne political will fire soto niaje man sonna adatila political will to. UDP a decision o tala kon na manifesto. Anini manifesto dolbe falinal.
Yeah.
Andum kabringa manifesto doku. Na doku wale kama ko na fintita. UDP will stand among them. UDP be lola fayenne is karibu lo chodi mon. Because nga menke manifesto kono ntenga alon. Malla fi party leader preempt la because anyanta launch la lan holo. But wallahi se ko na launch ta. Na le manifesto je. 16 sector policy papers le bije 16
fanna tanning war na wala ma banko la doku dlal fanna tanning war na bele ma kew na ma nyine kama UDP si falimunati ni wo falimunata wala mu nyin transformation not political will fire soto ni UDP president man political will soto ka ko dol kanin tol dol te ku kenola katumba fola ne ko yenta nyine kama kanyin doku pour ka banko samba nya dole nyama ni te man pare banko samba lo nya do nyama mo so be be nyanta lolale ko banko kata nyama manta ni mu leader betoti ni ko banko kata nyame amanta abkata ku ike lamoy lale ye memfo yake par ni ba ke la fana modol fana nyininka ini mo jamae kacha kaje ko nyulka memfo nye tonyala secondly Gambia la civil servants manna banko kan ninga na banko kanunum
den kodo ka batardiya domo nyama bu ka domo nya ate domo la onya
tinyaro ni kodi
tinyaro ni fengol be hani motoli ka motol ke nyama
mo kilense dalasi million ota sa ko million tan
exactly
mo be den
exactly
ite ko ba so ite la dimba les barunya banku mo be majority in abject poverty
ite o beta eta la esino fo
ye dingol ki ita karanga
ita karanga la dulal
ye moto
wala nanko
mal dire ba baron la
wala nanko malla fim fanna manna banko kan ninga na banko kan ko do bije bukake so political will bijele love of country bijele country first nanda banko tambindi folo jani be fan tambindi la
yeah
nkani mem foten ka foko jawrala government ni bundal men be londi bunda betol le muti ye dobal nafa ye bantankol nafa kabriol be wafi doron kol be tinyata bantankol be nyui nata kombo be congestion fonga muru back to that wo growth centers nol men bijenu kuntaw balengo kuntauru kata base then you come on this side gpm be damen dentin bridge the growth center kutolle la fala volcan in farafenye in Soma maybe even between Bansang and Soma a growth center ought to be there fonga dulaki je me keta growth center then base ni murtanan kombo brikama e decongest dolie muru back to Bunjur and in Kato. So fonga o plan sifal dara me alonko mumu inyanta men soto la ya soto
yeah
mo kana fo hanita soto la because itante mansa talemu andumbe mun namu jolale tate o mansa so memunte tati ni kontete o soto la ni be problem o soto la
so Mrs. Akamanda sunyaro tapeleya corruption andum yakalam dole ko mamme ba ke State Department
yes
ya ko iko nyi manza konna ke ike the turning blind eye kolom
ke nyabiti
corruption men be ke ak brisite man hani mo killing
samba kitiola
pour ñu suñaro ni tapaleya ni kada sanji lolu so sa nyi manza konna be corruption to kala so akam de def jele sembentu yala ko nyimbe UDP la nyimbento la manifesto na ni 5-point agenda maybe you will how do you tie this man sekona failures of this government and in the UDP man sekona si dan problem mun falinde si fala ka
ni nyin 16 nyin fana woro tan woro be ni fem ma ala anko mumuneti transparency accountability probity onen gomu muneti be ku kela ay tara kene batu ninte Lare Ceesay kuke sama ite se kusedi li sina fonye dalila jumale atinne nyinke nite se kusedi li mafo journalist o pa modu bojan sina sa fonye Mr. Ceesay munatinne nyinke wala probity alsim wanyar nalim wanyar butum malobe mbente kan inna tibal ni na family in telephone ngawlo so corruption onying let's go back to that yalong the current UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres ako corruption is the ultimate betrayal of the public trust ako munamuwati ako corruption no nimmo latela ye kedulato ye mantara fennaje fo suñaro ako lanna balia mo buka tambino woto is the single most important ponko ultimate betrayal of public trust. It's a powerful statement.
Kamola
jiko tinya ni entelari muta eduladina ya dina nyine kama ko nsije fanol tep nyanta doku la nyame sa doku no nya nanasi mbe suñarola mbe mbadingul kala dulalto na nterma ñol la molu mbe kala dulalto mollan na kalanna kawol falaso dinna na bele tinya anata baktun kam folota men fola ka foko ni la banko kan ko dol bije bukeke
wallahi
ni la banko kan wallahi ko dol bije bukeke yil famo e ka ko do sunya la fonte ki jo kam faran tete hani la ko di sifa sunya la bla 12 million na karanalu ika fo men technocrats nyol
wallahi
ka bring jawara la time ñulle mu tiñar la baati ñim banko mo buke manankunno andi buke manankunno because imam banko tambindi fangolti ye fanke banko kan
wallahi
ni wote ko dol kake wolte kel ajibe bi finance minister supplementary budget dun neo budget neo breakdown jibe come on man. No serious government will spend money like that.
But finance minister Dalta Walale, some a supplementary budget or something, and some deputy Olu, Alafita Meneka. In fact,
yes.
Uncle Deputy Olu, in session of a jelly dealer, Momola, now, amount on you for your Olu for 20,000 number, whatever. They give them sitting allowance, 20,000. So,
because extraordinary sitting
session. So wuli muang bole dila dibito wala. So ning itolo kata salary men la wala nyinde ko ni budget or reject tomorrow it or 20.
Yes, it will jola. And we
budget or reject, they will still get that. That's entitlement. Your womela entitlement lady.
What is even sad about this? Ni sita enyulu jibe debate la. The quality of the debate.
Yeah.
The lack of knowledge of financial situation.
Most of them are. No. Uncle Ndolu, Gambia Ndolu Kuram Bale de Gambia because the National Assembly is not up to scratch.
No.
The executive not up to scratch. Judiciary will they are okay, but the three arms of government, the two arms will be the Sasarine, executive assembly. So Gambia has and the media also for a problem of the media.
Yeah.
A lot of setback. You know?
Yeah. Kanyimbanko tilindi ka tembendi. Abe kole ala le barate kole ala because nte ka fo molende ko nyimbanko nyanta kachadula sabale sotola. Kachadula follow wolem corruption not.
Yeah.
Fonga kacha sobo ke corruption wala ko wala nga d'accord ko ni me corruption ma nyanta tala dame sambo. Ndeka fo mole fang in some other countries janjambure bije ni corruption ke samba janjambure eta mando ko.
Ira mano do ko lagi. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dobal ka Kenya me is for finance on nene domandi.
But uncle, one thing is clear is Nyimbansa Kunda wante. Barola Mansa Kunda wante. The ila record is out for everybody to see. Bele baje kanko Nyimbansa Kunda te corruption the only time the corruption of maybe the UDP can support them fundita ja issue nyaro ke wete sambala janjambure. But as long as you know Barola support the niano ye national coffers ye could be big men yake as long as yela loyalty show to Baro then you are good to go, you are safe. Imagine you musu knowing obviously reportedly ikaba foka mole ne ko atesi safe because minister but bosonying afana mukarana lati akana fa nene minister ta protect la no.
No, I call for a drunk to comfort herself. But I just saw kona fanga ya lonko ya mutale.
Yeah.
Kana dulati je. Minister be bolaje in 6 months. Nim palindiro keta minister do me minya fo fanamba ndombe menke kam fo fanambe woleke. No. So aba fanne nene kam. Coming back to this issue of corruption. Technocrats nyolu. We have to have a conversation in our hearts. Fonga kacham fangu juso kono. Ka foko fo nyanta banko bele doku la banko be ke fankamati o itol damma e si karale kodo suja nyanta kala nyame yakanya wala nanko wala mun conversation followed conversation fulanjang wala si faram fansindiroti
si faram fanso
yeah tribalism Gambia man si faram fansindiro lon in fact in those days the Kafome, the progressive Wolofs in Banjul, progressive Fullers, they align themselves with Jawara's party and they win elections. B, Wobotale, Jameo Bondile, it becomes an ethnic thing. Si Faram Fansindo, Wolebe Banko Kang. Andum, Mol membenin si Faram Fansindiro ke la nini mankacha. Ibe macho letale banko mala. Because ntol do ko ke dulal tole meni alonko si Faram Fansindiro le kelo dundi o banko kan. O banko kan. Andum si Faram Fansindi fitino na dunta banko ka bukabo. Sierra Leone jibe. Rwanda, Abota Jele Barhanibi, they are dealing with it. Central African Republic, the same. Abebe Jahasri, DRC, Abebe Jahasri. So, fonga nying kacha fulanjango. Kacha sabanjango muna muwati, na miral nya. We have to change our mindsets. Kamira nyameng, komi nga dati nyameng.
Yeah.
Ye banko tambindi fanna. Neo miral nya sifa soto. Banko katanol. Ni fan la banko kan. O manke miral betot. Mbe mento bi. Anim untamen kono kunum. Molle sotota mansa kunda. Men ya lonko ye fanselen di mansa kan. Amunte tollem mansa kundati. Men diate kawoleke. Men diate kawolefo. Men diate kawoleta. Ni wote? State Department la reporto. Kafoko Gambia e nya biti corruption o kan. Alaji be o reporto fintita wato menna. Aning European Union ye la visa regime change wato men.
Yeah.
Momo e diplomacy long. Ko dunia katama nyame momo ya long. Ibalo na ko nyimol man kontani Gambia.
No, man kontani Gambia na sekundaro.
No. I don't care. I've been attacked after this and all of that. But nothing I experienced totally. I have lived it. The message menki is a clear one.
Yeah, it's a
Put
clear
your
one,
act together, or you lose us. Ibe ole foka.
Inva uncle porque como sementu obviously American government nalano directly interfere Gambia internal domestic policies of European, but it can messageless send because yalo ne election or study na.
Yes.
So Mansakunda membiji under corruption of Kelekan, they're just sending out. Look at the timing of the report. The timing of the report is very crucial. Yeah, understand it.
State Department law report or release. 2 days later, EU visa regime change.
Yeah.
It can pass in.
I can pass in, yes.
Can pass in. Kafoko albukatara kuol ke kanyama. Barbukara la kanyama. Ninte mu president mbe nkijobe mfarla doman.
Yeah.
Because jama neo passing sifa ke ilafta menne bukake.
No, in fact, there was a meeting in Brussels. The European Union they're very unhappy with Barrow government, particularly the NDP. Promisol Menketa. Iman Timma and Barrow, now trying to perpetuate himself into power.
Yeah.
Well, they were not on the agenda, but right now, European Union, America, Barrow is interested in
self-perpetuation.
You rule. So now I'm on content. But Mr. Ceesay, I'm reading the comments on the computer. Former UDP Mansakonabe Banko Be Yai Galibang. Pruning Tunkululo 5-point agenda Pruka Jabakase Water Molie pour voter souls are long. Ako is good ba focus platform to party dida ba focus, but from the special program so to la kabanko be yayi kada tundu to tundu kanis 5-point agenda ka explain voter soul ye dole yo question on yininga.
It's a valid question. Yalo na force program na fole. Ko nim 5-point nim launch ta. Abe translate la ba faramfansendi la manika counto, surwa counto, fula counto, jola counto, kangol be. Be okay kam mune kama strategy mu muneti. Ka banko be tama. Kata bunda to bunda manke woti o district door to door. Na campaign lalu ibe akela olenya and that it'll be Kemo Bojang just launched a program on Kerfat. Yamira Mojama Ojel.
Mojama la jibe.
Yo, at that it'll sign. Obetar la jele, itela program obetar la jele, mo kotan la platform obetar la jele. Bari fonga yai banko bele kan.
Fonga yai banko bele.
So that we are all on the same page on the issues. Yenga tara kan kilinko banko nyanta tala in direction all. So yes, the guy who asked the question is a valid question, and this is the game plan. Hani manifesto jing na fintita far launch ta. Abe translate lale into all the local languages. Nim 5-point agenda be distribute la nyame. Manifesto fanan be distribute la wale.
Okay, I'm saying that point by point. Yeah, for the angle account then about translate into Wolof. Ning 5-point agenda. Nalong kami Gambia mo jamala nyantalo na sign because party leader from our recent diama menken in Bakaraji.
Yes, he mentioned it.
Fole I need tunkulu lo fole. But in that tunku follow wolom youth.
Yes.
Yes. This youth empowerment scheme ying. Skills, youth empowerment and skills. Wala karola. Wo for mole. Nalong anyim for janne. Bari imbe kari nyum kumulu senkan saingan nale. But when you have 65% of Gambia population, youthful population.
It's youth, yes.
So wala na aliyo kitunku follow. Number one. Wo for mole. UDP be monekela funding ke oli about dole for my message Kenya nambari new question all later on dole nyingala mo dole be lame Gambia I question on nyinga but ninga nyinku start card then say question on nyinga after ni outline
ni aje in the 5-point agenda nga that youth la manifesto fananga na sector policy one mu youth led
okay
so wala nanko eko in 5-point agenda abe bota manifesto le kon ibebe linkrin ibebe chokirin nyola ni aje nga youths ki je yemen folem 60% nata ko population no mo kemelet mo taworo be mu funding ke wala nim funding muso BB mang comprehensive cohesive youth engagement program soto nyim banko ka man fen soto me alonko abe nyim funding kewol makoy abe funding kewol makoy no la nyante makoy la nyam yes EU e kodo di mollal ye youth training kele kolke bari amanke it's not a comprehensive plan to deal with youth and employment, youth empowerment. So UDP intol come and suggest Nanyim 5-point agenda to Anim manifesto is to say 3 things. Nyanta conditional dada la me alonko funding ke ol funding musol si doko soto no banko. Nyanta resources dilela they have to have the resources. Puruka si Bangkok. Nyanta lual fanan soto la le me alongo Bankola yirwa karo dolla. Gambia dingul dronne si wo tano woto ye kukije. Because BB in the economy Niajibe, there is not one sector that is dominated by Gambians.
No, Atije.
Atije. So we want to create, there is a country, Malafa Tofola, because I'm still working with them. There is a country that has enacted an indigenous economic empowerment legislation. Ye loi le da me alonko loi ko nindula fannakar Gambia ding dronne si doko keno to Gambia ding dronne si je tano Gambia ding dronne si je sotono ye loi lon
because of the indigenization of the economy.
Yes. Papareta ye kodo fanankije kodi jama ni youths nyoli fan organize coming Combo South youths, Combo East youths, KMC, Greater Banjul, Kata Bolonkono, ye fan organized. They have access to nyim kodot. Ike fansum bodol that I be business ol kele be seno kele be safaro fanankela. So wala ben hakilo kono, wala nango population okono 60% is so huge. Manya ne tulakoma. Now, what has been happening is that the youth, they have been left behind.
Yeah.
They have not been included. My inclusivity strategy. But more importantly, they don't have a targeted policy that could actually help them get out of the predicament that they are in. So, planol mantaraje mensi funding ke only funding musol makoino. But it comes back to now kachasabo, corruption, tribalism, and a mindset change. Na funding ke only funding musol for finally ke mira nyame for falling.
Bingo. In fact, that's a good timing. Ni pareta jera because ni ngaro men important Gambia. And I relate to the topic coming forward. Malam for Ceesay kundango kuma fara tole. People mind read alti. Akam deko yenyi la question on fire kifane ne but
it's logical.
Yeah.
It's logical. Ni ajibe funding ke only funding musolbe kuol men ke kansa e ka kuol men fote. Fongan na miralol falling.
Yes.
Niko etambi nyato. Yeke kuti ye baraka. Ike mira nyame mfoya fali. Ika kuol ke nyame mfoyo fanam fali.
Yeah.
Fonga o kata koleari mufanangi.
Exactly. In fact, I already go Mr. Ceesay, good evening to you on Mr. Ceesay. Very interesting show. But I appreciate the UDP's 5-point agenda and the importance that UDP is giving to the youth empowerment. But the challenge that the UDP government will have, and that all the other governments, the challenges that they had, and which UDP is bound to have, is the mindset of our youths. Majority of our youths have it in their minds the best way to progress is to go out broad, to go to Europe. And they don't want to work in the country. They don't want to do skills job. They think it's poor man's job to do it. So I have a question on Mr. Ceesay, what will UDP do to change the mindset? I can tell you all these brilliant ideas and policies are good on paper, but in practice they may not work unless the mindset of the Gambian youths change it slowly. So this is a very important question, and environment is very, very important.
It is important, but what I think covering even now prior sector janimedu nango nkamira nyame mfonga afali.
Yeah.
Odoka sunya nyame mfo stop. The tribalism men na fo fana stop. Because ladol bije mandingol bije surwal bije flol bije sarahlo fo eta nyo kan kakuol ke together so that irwasi be soto. Now na youths nimbe America Europe ibe kodo soto la Europe le. It's possible isi kodo soto Europe depending on Imalong
jam koleya do mala
Ndebita university wato menna do ku saban kilin ka wala kan dum bita school.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah. So kodo bukana wonya.
Just like that.
Katale, yes. Ngani memfoten ninga indigenous economic empowerment legislation also to law soto. Na kodo kije meya lonka kodo beteata. Momo lafta tala agriculture yeta. Momo lafta safaro la eta. Momo lafta industry la factory ol fonko yake wallahi se kunyim banko be falinna momo nyanta nkafo wala momo nyanta men soto la ya soto mo kana fo e tenyin soto nola so that indigenous economic empowerment, it has to come with those three conversations because wo conversation sabo I impact soto nyin program tole. So to your questioner, in Tolnate and Ite, we'll all have to have that difficult conversation about mindset change.
Mr. Ceesay, it's very important. There is also one lady, the program in Japan right now. I think it's very late in Japan, but Amari is awake listening. Yeah, Subama Famalom. Ako Sehu, I really enjoy listening to UDP Online Bantaba, but this is one of the best programs. Whenever I see people discussing policy, I am always naturally glued to it. But what I want to say is, would UDP government also encourage by giving incentives to these youths? Because what the person has asked is true, but maybe the way to mitigate this from sort of incentives dealer that will gradually slowly change. I think this lady is an economy student in Japan, and we have to really tackle this incentive package funding or mindset falling because right now what she's saying the benefit that they are getting, the remuneration is minimal in those trainings. So that's why the youths are more attracted to go to Europe. I think she's got a point there, Mr. Ceesay.
She's got an important point.
Yeah.
And in addition to the three conversations, we have to have, if she's an economist, she knows what I'm trying. We have to have an enabling environment.
Exactly.
Now, enabling environment, conditional nyanta tarla jele me atina Now, the other incentive structure is the funding part.
Funding part, bingo.
Yes. That's the other incentive structure. The third incentive structure is marketing and in storage. Nibe agriculture. Inyanta dula sotele bela fengol mabola damen jan nibe wafilete tinya. Ni pareta wafila fanan fonko distribution chain ning. Anyanta kela in such a way that ni abondila stock on dry tamar se otaiwa.
Exactly.
So for now incentive sifal soto. Na enabling environment soto, na incentive structure soto, na funding soto. But in addition to that, nkanyim banko memfote, ye accountability metrics fanankele. Kafoko mbe ilafta kodi o kodi lamba dile lale. Amanke ko ni ko 20 million na 20 million dila sign. Ibe metrics le soto la me alonko ni ko nganyinke mbe sula la nina la yake ni okay yena na alafa. Bari janimba alafa la ye menke fonga o jibe follow. So wo metrics wala mu accountability structure ni aje ko ibe kodo to pass because Gambia one of the things that we know how to do is to spend money on social things. So ni masa kunda yo kodo dile ko eta senola wale factory olo ita tebe ibe musol nyinin na wale ibe manyo nyinin na o msede kunda ko mu tebe domorola e kuma ta ko mbatu nga nyin kodo ke domoro kunna dron na wato sita ay kewonya atita so fonga accountability structure so
Mr. Ceesay, what come out back but namera blado for ambiguity on this funding wala karol UDP namera 30% of the contracts pruka the contract or pruka the funding or me alango the project sobe wolom ila fita kan do okay so masekunda be coming kan indigenization and everything pruka funding or cement ya nim is brilliant because Nimman soto Gambia so be need mu funding ke woti ila fita your project can do soto man se kona ba mingolo ke mo ke bi blasa be contract la tekela comment bi meme ke contract yari hadim gaila for example or man se kona la mo kickbacks but need mu Gambia exactly need mu Gambia funding ke woti mo musori wala mo ke woti me alon ko sobe ya man se kona se benefit no 30% so melbe call ke kan alimba to demanding ning oncle Lare ni call for because oncle Lare ning fitro sita na la vitala I don't know how many minutes you always before Fitur Salo Gambia right now.
No, it's okay. We can go. We still have about 30 minutes.
30 minutes, okay. So more left a call killer. So okay, there's somebody calling from the UK, I'm a marine of the Diamond. But anyway, matter let to put you through. But so you're funding the whole question board, but also the other part, maybe they will Jata Kende, of course.
Yeah, health. And in education.
Education, you know.
Now, Jata Kende ala Carola. Ni tata Gambia health facility for health center lembam for hospital lembam tustije. Ibe la dame fama ni la pajaso le kana.
L'hôpital.
Yes. Ini la pajaso le. Ini la pajaso le kana because la round tije o pajaso e kawle landi float e la kan.
So nyanga ke government hospital le to.
RVTH ABJ.
So the main hospital.
It's everywhere.
Okay, Uncle, carry on when you call us cigarette. Off you go.
Okay. It's everywhere. So ninko jata kende afanang anyanta kodo nyanta dunnaje damen ka jata kende a sikandi santo prasi mol jata kende a bambandinu mbe jele fanam mafoko nake ko Angleterre wala Germany wala US eventually lafta kela wala bari sayinte bel sularin kamenke wala munna primary health care ni tata lopitan o lopitan to ni tata health center o health center to primary health care e taraje gambe o soto lenum fo bantala banku molu kana Gambia primary health care during Jawara's time. We want to go back to that, but we want to also create laughter situation or create so that nisita secondary care fanant. And we see okay no through targeted what they call targeted public investments. Inyanta kodo dunna dulal to dame alonko asimol nafa katabaki.
Yeah.
Wole ben sambala secondary fonkodo. Nte personally ngamen debate yin be committee men chaka ngamen ni nyo sabo ke menna fonda korta wala munyintiko nyanta primary health care so na secondary bari nyanta mpare la pandemic care fanantole
pandemic is important
nyanta mpare la fanan kamala nyin corona mol ka faka man sota tale abe mol faka so nyanta mpare la le ngal lopitanol soto me alonko nim pandemic nata o epidemic nata mol stout bibi ni laf ni nyin corona e mute lafte landila ladi dulatije so ndakorta auto fananale abije later on I'm going to do a paper for the party leader which is going to talk about the current state of the COVID-19, its impact on the economy, and then future pandemic planning.
Okay, Mr. Ceesay, Jandibe continue, right? I've got Amadou Mane from the UK. I called a few times. Mr. Mane, go ahead, please.
Right, Mr. Ceesay, because I meant for transparency, accountability, and then I believe for at the moment at the back and the book and the moment to sign up for Madale. Control of the back. Once it back to the roots, especially Malakapian grassroots.
Yeah.
Or two more and the more at a bunch, what of stuff come over in other bunch. It can done for Party Valley, a kid and the it didn't mean that they call a land. So near Soto, in a Sotana, calculate that you get under the last proven night and the lay. But I'm also saying, and first take a condon, Lamin Petupola, Janiba Carflor, Lamin Punyolo.
Exactly.
So if you have a involved in many along the Lamin, who many algorithm of the customs and so on. Okay.
And secondly, Ahmad, what do more from? And I became a sign, even civil service from ye, Sandy Damaki, Mam Cordash, from a man, Bunyamalo. In fact, society from Gafi, ko imam baraka.
Yes, imam baraka.
Take you, you imam take, you know, so just put it up. Ha.
Go. I agree.
Very good. Very good. I have gone to a communicate.
For a month, it's a month and told you, I can't for all. Feed that into
No. Mr. Mane.
Mr. Mane, say, Ilamo uncle, right? Exactly.
So definitely, these are some of the observations that we do be. Also, the Canada that Mamula School
Come, Mr. Ceesay, come for mindset on that you call mindset all falling. Bottom line is but your point is very important, very solid.
Mr. Mane. Corruption or carbon banko ka te fair. Bari ni example o set. Mokumalu meni alonko mol kafo ite hanyila nyimala. Ni olu taki corruption ola karola. Ye samba kiti ola moli aje hanko fo kela ye so.
Example o set.
Molbe corruption o bulala. Ni ba kela fane bi mira lala sinya fula.
Ni tilimbali akaboni wala example o set.
For example o set. Me banko du nyokon. Wala mning maslaha.
Exactly, maslaha.
Mulka kuoke fanka lonko mbeni menke ka manke siloti. Bari kake ni ake ni muta ye kurosan ye alfal tambindi ko alngana nga badiyaf. Badiyafo on sa fonole bar mobe kodo buka badiyafo no.
South Africa la former president
Exactly. He's in jail because of Amanson Lua no. So nteka dame fodro wala munyintiko. Ni mindset change. Nsi kol badiyafo no le kuodolo. Bari bankola kodo ka sunya dron comme million tanning fula eta si tekili. Ni parete ko alinga maslaha. Nte date oto.
Mr. Ceesay, Modlamin Sonko for in Karogako say, please ask the wages structure in the Gambia as there is need for reform in order to empower the citizens of the country in whatever sector you're working. You should be able to sustain yourself. So, more remuneration, pay package.
Listen, he's right. Let me just extend it further. He's right. There is no living wage in this country.
Minimum wage at all.
Living wage, they don't have it. Saka minimum wage. Although mansoto. Niaje nga section o kije civil service reform. Na ke wala kama. Lafta professional civil service la. That professional civil service has to attract professional salary, professional benefit structure, professional incentives. There is nothing to stop us from doing that. Yalo me nanteka ofo mole. Alta jane commission la report o jibe ba ya e kodo men dron pisir pasar nyim banko.
Yeah, in fact, Bubakar Siddiq Beology Kaka, how do we recover the stolen wealth? Our stolen wealth.
We can get there, but first, yeah, kodol mem beta over $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Nteketa Secretary General tile, nte malo nunko Gambia o kodi sifaso.
Kodi jamal be banko kande.
Kodo te banna banko kan. Miati na buka kanyama sunya role mani embezzlement and corruption.
Yeah.
Ningo tackle head on. Be kodo soto la leka professional civil service job. Be kodo soto la leka good professional incentive structure kije.
Yeah.
Mbe kodo sotola le fanan ka professional insurance scheme ke. Banko doluntenga dokol ke auto. Ila insurance scheme is even better than your UK or the US.
Yeah.
So as we have to have the political will. A second thing ka foko unilateralism, UDP mbeletam. That is true. Nte kabri benkela chairman o tinyinto. Particularly in consult. But at the end of the day, this committee is a part of the national executive. So kabri nga fonko ning committee nyinste fonga final draft sort of the manifesto. I presented it to the national executive. 4 hours, mbe sira kamba present la sector by sector. Taking their comments and then inputting their comments in it into its current form. So nunto UDP kakenyame 1996, 97, 98 and imbi UDP ifatatale kosuto nintilo. So let him be rest assured there is a consultative mechanism in place. Which suggests that nimbe banta outside there ninga kuje me alonko usenu nyanta alona o mokote nyanta alona nga telephone nse nke kumandinga fo na consultation ke nga sort out nata. Now Boubacar Sidikila issue, how do we recover this thing? Easy. Former South African President Thabo Mbeki is chairing the AU group on the illicit transfer of funds from Africa. Ninga evidence sotoko kari enyin sunyar sifake. They can help us track it down. Yes, there is an agreement between that outfit and the EU, and in bilaterally with countries like Switzerland, Belgium, and in United States, which suggests that ninga evidence sort of nimuna karla dulality. We present it to that illicit transfer of funds mechanism through the EU. They follow it up and they get it. American oil government, if you follow the money, you get the culprit.
Yeah, true. Mr. Ceesay, a couple of questions, right? Ibra Fana comment level like for UDP government will have to make decisions that will be very unpopular in the short run, but in the long run they will be beneficial to the country. That's perfect. That is a good thing. The recent audit report shows account, the problems, corruption in the audit report still, exposed. I think exposed in the government level of mismanagement and everything. So. Thank you to the listeners. Our comments were very important. But Mr. Ceesay, Jani Katare, in terms of help, Seno Bunda me along
yes,
the lifeline, a healthy nation, we have to be properly fed before we can have a healthy nation.
Na health analyze nyame, na agriculture analyze wolenya, na education fanang analyze wolenya. Lafta menna. Be menke kam funding ke ole under the youth plan. Be the same thing like on the health plan. The same thing will happen in the agriculture plan. Fonga mechanized agriculture ke say. We have gone past a point where nteba manata ta farota ka koboke kobola nite nafam maybe. Polka koboleke. Fonga kobol bondi na tilas nyol nati e tilinke.
Well, baro follow the academy mola.
Well, academy la wolle muchahan la. Ni follow di nambe tulo busal. Ita be moto gorendile kante so follow.
Wallahi.
Ni Gambia la topography long. Kabo Sambang Tenda. Kata Jaren. Kudang. Kuntau. Foja Halipacha. It's all swamp. Obemu faroleti. Mensi moldani no. This is on the south bank. If you go through the north bank, Fana, fresh sign saltwater canal for Balengo. So from Balengo, literally, katafoed nakikunta orla koteki. Saponyul baby ole kono, YBK nyul baby ole kono. These people, we can feed ourselves and export the residuals. Nsim fandani ni nol. Nsim fandani ni nol. But fonga kodo dundi agriculture. And that brings me back to ye institutional mem privatize. Personally, I felt it was a mistake to privatize Gambia Commercial and Development Bank. I thought it was a mistake for Gambia Agricultural Development Bank privatize. For GPMB WAF and for GGC WAF. It's a mistake. So, fonga decision all ta can you lulin that a problem bat.
Revive.
Me revive lale ni wulin di kote ke nga kodo dundi je ni maintain and bring them back to international standards. Nimbe okela funding private sector nga ke public private partnership. Ntaka fo mole ko na Gambia businessman oli man smart. Dol ben na businessman ol ko no wali amera ni man naki president wala te kodo mekla. Wala ne kan naki president wala. Dangote jiba be menke kan Nigeria ning Africa ba. Dangote be refinery local, $11 billion. It's the world's biggest refinery. Ibukanin politician je. Abe mani doku wala ala nyinang ala harvest. I 1 million metric tons of rice le do.
Wow.
Abe fertilizer doku ka.
But the same thing, Uncle, tough construction. He is very Ibukajaka Bampu politician or coma. In fact, very maybe different. The same thing. So, a businessman killing also go. They have those qualities in Gambia.
No, not totally. No, and I'm not going to buy that argument. I'm not going to buy that argument. Niaje kudol keta na businessman ol ye fan nakin the politician ol lela wala na ol keta. The people in Brufut will disagree with you. On that state, tough mun na friend letting alone very well. But Burfutun call mantara contandri.
Okay.
So ngada memfo.
Okay, you go for and quickly. Okay, somebody just said that.
Fonko na businessman all coming Amadou Sambanyolu, Bazi Nyolu ye menke yala, wolebe kekan Adamal.
Mohamed Jah right now.
Mohamed Jah Nyolu and others. These people think they can't make money without being affiliated to the center of power. And for me, that is the most serious risk a businessman can take. Amadou Sambanyol jibe biba. Mohamed Bazi Nyol jibe ba.
Yeah.
It's like we haven't learned anything from this.
Abubakar Jawara now, limelight.
Yeah. And in more you know, there are people who control the petroleum industry. Konka memfo ni dunia la marcel to ni sanso seleta. Isanso daka selel. Barnaji ta isanso daka jile. Bar Gambia la katusel la bukaji. So there are these two business people who monopolize that. And alone who these people are. They tell us what to pay at the pump. Nka menjo esansola ito leka ditami barini aselenda bukaji. So until after menfola dron wole munyintiko. As far as UDP la manifesto is concerned, it is very private sector friendly. Laftan ni mole doko ke mansakunda ni private sector ka mo public private partnership nake. Abe manifesto kono. Nso ke no muneka ka ni sulata menna in terms of inputs for kodolem bank for jorangal lembang ni te sulata ma man sakunda si di nolale ikarajo inyanta menkela yake marinte oke nola nim businessman ol ko photo leke politician o fanat aka mem foten ka foko ning UDP lafta nyin kol kela abe koleala wallahi sitale nte we sleepless nights dinale several sleepless nights ka foko ninga nyilike manifesto kon mol ba jela ko nyanta nyinkela barabe darjala le ban fate darjala andunga conclusion ta dol to koyte darjala bari amanke UDP amanke Lare amanke mo kotenti Gambia lem même beteata Gambia to mbe wole to abe koleala le ate feala tumando bato modol sikumbo bari ninga nyin changes nyolke ika kodo fanan ke karala le me alon ko momo nyanta benefits sotola as a result of restructuring yeta ni restructured yeta la do to benefit ta
Uncle Lare yala Ceesay ko nango albukal daji go by there's one for the Ceesay ako you guys are talking. Today we are all complaining about the prices of basic commodities.
Yes.
When the UDP government bring down the price of rice, you remember Barrow told us that when the coalition government, he will bring the price of rice. Ceesay ko nango don't go there. Adela concern more than India moment they last money to focus.
Yeah, baraka dia musedi kundang kol ning kamara kundang kol bele tola.
I'm for formal double gira on the UDP government. Anyway, UDP Mafogo outright binale merchandise. The free market forces of supply and demand will take place,
Exactly.
Yeah, but UDP is policy driven actions to try to help the consumers from the cost side of this. You see, but we cannot impose price control in the market.
Exactly. As a development economies, in a platform like this, not guarantee will bring the prices down because we don't control the supply and demand of those goods.
Yeah.
But what I can guarantee is in the manifesto and the 5-point agenda is to create an enabling environment and the resource envelope required to bring these things down.
Exactly.
For example, NTCBJ Watomen, he left a femfene at a cost.
Yeah.
Atabuka Jawea.
Yeah.
Cooperative Wonya, GPMB Wonya. What is stopping us? Ninga lonko nga election or winle. Na cost of living can na priority.
Exactly.
Kamanol source daming, natanga mano source je on a long term. It can supply janimbe na agriculture dundila anyanta dunna dame. The problem we have, Seku, and to the commentator, the problem we have is that while we say we have a free market economy, there are people who have a monopoly over the importation of these commodities.
Absolutely.
So for monopoly power for anything,
and also the lack of the functional consumer protection agency.
Yes, there's no consumer. Pira will have to think about Pira in a very strategic way.
Why?
But the bigger point is we cannot interfere in the market the way people think you can interfere. But we can create the conducive environment for these prices to actually fall precipitously. In South Africa, Kabrim Mandela Fintita prison. UN kolla ko alimma ko ibang na molla danyiningun asifea no nyadi. They eat meal and in cooking oil and in sugar and in salt. We went and sourced those commodities. Government is in the townships. You know what? People were put out of business who had a monopoly in those townships. 2 weeks.
Yeah, because they couldn't compete.
Yes. So we can do the same thing here, but market interference is a no-no. But at the same time, nyanta caveat kelajele kafoko, business people need to act responsibly.
Exactly.
And they need to have empathy for the poor and the powerless. Ibuke nyalo profito kandre ko ntenyanta mensoto la nyinto wala matata. Ila nebo bite ite kono faring ila nebo ninkonko ila.
Yeah, John Mendy now at a late tele. I feel like a question on you may address, but I just want to what now longer time or Fitoro see that right now. So you got a couple of minutes.
10 minutes or so.
10 minutes, okay. John Mendy, what mechanisms will UDP use to fight against endemic corruption? You address it, but maybe I take a miss because the corruption or come that more Jamaica concern Gambia.
No, Banco Bele concern. Because Banco Bele along corruption is everywhere. Now, corruption has been decentralized.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Corruption has to be decentralized. Mr. Mendy should know a serious government will have a serious anti-corruption legislation on the books. It starts with the president declaring his assets and the assets of the first lady. It goes down to the ministers declaring their assets and the assets of their spouses. And the chain goes down. Now, new strong anti-corruption legislation on Sotota, law Sotota. Momo e law tinya, hani keta muneti, ye muta ye soro mobe nya. Wallahi ne oke killing fula saba. Ibe mol jele bafla he, ningani ma nyina bekela. At least that's how other countries have done it.
Yeah. Mr. Ceesay, baraka bake mo jamale content program or like very educative. I'm looking at all the comments on computer. They said this is a very educative program. Of course, whenever Uncle Lare says Dibba, they are sure that it will always be very interesting because talk about policy issues all around. We are here to discuss personal stuff. But they come. Jonathan and text on WhatsApp. I don't know this person. Ma atila name and number another, but now I'm the Swedish number. I call say this is a very good program. But what assurance can the UDP government give us that all these issues that they are talking about will be implemented, particularly the fight against corruption? Because we know that talk is cheap. That's what he said. Talk is cheap. And Lawyer Dabo is a Gambian like any other Gambian. He will be surrounded by the same Gambians who will go to his office to tell him, please have mercy on these people. Please have mercy. Gambia is a very small world. So basically, I've been for we are saying this, but what assurance are we going to give to Gambians?
But we've addressed it. Maslaha has to have a limit.
Yeah.
Secondly, I think Molka Usenu underestimated.
Yeah.
When it comes to his inherent understanding of the political environment. Molka underestimated. Usenu le alon membe kering. Usenu le alon
experience balance of side.
No, useni alon ne membe kering. Useni alon ne fanamko. As we are talking, people are trying to capture him as a potential somebody.
Yeah.
Now, ntoldola doko movement to make sure that a wall is created so that we close the doors. You know, mo kilimulu me jawara la kuoltinya. Wole ya la kuoltinya, wole be barola kuoltinya.
Exactly. The same clique of people.
It's the same clique of people. So saying fonga tabulo elemandi, wole falim. Now, call deconcentrate from the greater Banjul area back to the provinces, including the Combos. Molie Muruila Dlalto, because they can make a decent living there. When they get sick, they have access to good health care. They can do good agriculture and feed themselves. Fonga Wolke. Now, the business of talk is cheap. He's right, talk is cheap. But we are not in this for anything.
Exactly.
We are in this because we think the country can go in a better direction.
Yeah.
Bari, the last time
I was a bit panicked one time. I got information that you were almost going to NPP, but I think they tried to inform more Equella Fida Palazzo de la Oncolare, Ceesay, Barola, Osiro Double Monso, Palazzo de. You know, he plays this politics. He was playing this politics with a lot of people. Baroka La Fida Oncolare, Palazzo de la Bari, Osiro Manson. So they try to play this politics. But not only you are principled, you will not fall for things like that.
As we are talking, they are still trying.
Normal.
Bari, na panoramic view le soto. On where I think the Gambia should be heading. That panoramic view is not poisoned by greed. It's not poisoned by lack of principle. UDP konga fonyame manke luntanti je. Wala nambe UDP. Nimbe bola UDP. You going to ibe kuma koi le fola.
Dalila kende kendo.
Kende kendo.
Baga they cannot entice you with position because either you have your position on a man, mashallah. You know, what can these people offer you that better than those positions?
I apply economics 101. The supply and demand. You tell me where supply and demand equilibrates, and that's my fair market value.
But in cabinet I'm just giving a political example. In an intellect, will you borrow like gang of people? Can you say? Can you be with these people around the same desk? You know, I careful. Borrow with no disrespect. Borrow the cabinet papers all. I can understand no nyadi. This cabinet policy papers all.
You know what? What principle comes in? Ne principle soto ko dol bije bukeke. Nte mente laban nam bukan dakije.
Yeah.
O kabrin din nam wot. Ne mo ni ka kuda mente din maje ba fula mente laban na buka dakije.
Yeah.
Because na principle suggests that nienta do ko wala. Nyanta men fole mbe wala fole.
Yeah.
Nyanta men safele mbe wala safele. Ngawle ke ni ya mambeng first lady la account on lume wolu ngam ben fonyola. Oko dol sike before that men si cool precipitate ngam fonyo. Principle le bije nata ko alafta banko dokula nyanta dokula nyam. I'll work with the devil himself.
Yeah.
But mawoje, so I'm keeping my side.
Yeah.
Kafoko alafta doko dilana usen le manson kiru ngaul be moyle ninge moy nkajele. Ninjele ta fompare tan kafo ne wal mundoku si falam. Because mamera be doku dilante la manena mammenki.
But yeah, I'm clever because this trick they played it on you, they played it on me. Definitely so they go around and tell everybody because the Womo Barola strategy to try to people, and some people fell for it. Some people fell for it. Don't come back Alpha Usenula. So, but either your intellect is way above that for you to be it's too cheap, you know, that because I thought on the head of state. And in fact, it's not about position per se, it's about looking at the caliber of this government. Like Mr. Ceesay, with no disrespect, I don't know, the government official administratively, to be honest.
Well, but Mbajela la be man finti follow.
You had been fired. You had. Instead of you have been fired, you had been fired.
Mbajela le hani falingu yake. Alman fenje follow.
Thank you. What
we are seeing,
we will do this again, and hopefully we will have
Oley, yes.
with us. Yeah.
It's always a pleasure. But more nyanta alon nako UDP ntenyinkela intellectual exercise.
Yeah.
Nim 5-point agenda manifesto be sambala dumale downstream.
Yeah.
To the village level, to the ward level, constituency level, if necessary, house to house. But fonga message nying 5 futa nyanta futa la dan. Therefore, ni manifesto launch ta. Mumewe move la mbita sila kudan.
Ibira kudan.
Mbita sila kudan. Fojani election obekel.
But Yalongo UDP la Silver Jubilee kanasi on the 23rd of August. UDP be sending one the Silver Jubilee is blue. It's on the 23rd of August. UDP will be 25.
It's about a month from now.
A month, just under a month. So UDP be sending one
wo wato kono le manifesto nyanta launch la na launch la drone. I'm going to kuda. Nimbota launch so drone na fengol be tarla moto kono. I'm going to kuda.
So uncle, kudang go mafo be nyadi le. Politiko be nyadi mafo la.
Yebe jahasren.
Yebe jahasren de.
Because Nyamina is a microcosm of the Gambia. Mandingol BJ, Lol BJ, Sarahulol BJ. Recently, I realized ko Hanimanjakol BJ. So it's a microcosm of the Gambia. Nimol dungi benin tribalism mem puskang. It's having some effects. Nimema of Mantonia.
Yeah,
it's having some effect. More dolke la moila. dol bu ke la moy la bar mo dol ke la moy la son tol dol la do ko movement kaitan di mo la ko this is not about tribe this is not about an individual this is about the country more be more divide la on tribal lines we should reject resoundingly
wallahi
because ntolla o nyamina kono je ani ntolla suwo kono nim fulol be dundi ñokono ten nin fana fanol be dundi ñokono ten so nite nate ko nte ko fana fano malla fila o flow malla fila o ite ko le should we accept that
bari nga information of financial go yalong is it nyamina west by election okay
yes
ila mo jamala jikila te osore de mele ka pro for you ye promise ku jamala wol man so some people are really disappointed with even ila MP and the NPP so it is because ni more with the last week a lot of information that didn't go come far ko ye promise ku
no
jamala
this is a political party interpersonalized like this is a political party that promises and never delivers on its promises Yalo is a clear manifestation covering 2017.
Very clear.
In coalition d'akorta men la manke. Reforms me ye mol promise la manke. Economic growth me ye mol promise la manke. So politically fanan kanyamina win and wo constituency chairman kaje win. They had to win that in order to be viable. But a promise all menke, they cannot fulfill them.
But Uncle, what is with Baro and Lahidi Tinya? Near Baro for it, a second name is Lahidi Tinya. I virtually Baro, even Nalamin Tamamo, like all an APRC should not trust him because Baro Abukala Warsaw chief, and Baro is now known for this, renowned Abukala Hido Timandi.
Ngo, ngamira last weekend le moe audio dole forward nye. Kawandilabe kawandilola ko Lahidi Tinyabe alaye nyame.
Wallahi,
Nimme o kawando moy yanta silala ya Lahidi.
Iko malaikol ke dankale.
Yes.
Anabi mol ke danka.
Cemon bele ke danka. Ni futata alama wole jawyata bet. So kalahido tinya hanila korda tio kalahido tinya femman jawya woti.
Jawyata bakale.
Ntenite tema ninko esewu sedili mbenyi ni nekele. Nalahido lete. Nimeke nalahido tinyale lakira
ni lahido tinyale yani kuma dima fonfo
kuma dima yes
but ite kana ke ma tate
lahitinya femman jawya woti. Femman jawya woti nte sometimes I get shocked and I shouldn't be shocked because moment lota ko politics ikamolu lahidile once that I heard that from him on TV then ikamune kanin koteke because I be for it nsinka odila bari kana expect ko benka otimandila so ni sonta ye kuke we wala albunta ku kona me kele famale tauta
Abaraka, thank you so much. Abaraka.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Okay, bari ngolo wala keta Uncle Lare Ceesay kacha kumanga mensutale bantaba bi UDP la 5-point agenda to bokay malose ma new translate len london wasi sose yena nge deglo UDP online bantaba is 20:43 p.m. in the United Kingdom right now. It should be 7:43 p.m. in the Gambia. Obviously, it should be 10:43 p.m. in Qatar right now. Mal tendro about in Baljaila. Lomaro London wafi 5-point agenda bi. Oley Dibba Wadda no nyom ko make lo xam mo japp. Uncle Lare is a functional UDP ñun suñ amé ngor gi 5 points yo xamné dinañ ko dolé Gambia moy ci affaire youth policy bi. You see nañ leen empower jox leen not only am na ko bindoon ne nguur bu ñëw rek dañ dee wax ne dañoo empower youth si waaye UDP is not just talk am na fànn yi am na sarta yoo xam ne dañ ko binda so in fact contractual allocations yi lu ñoo joxe contracts yi dinañ jox 30% of the contracts to youth yoo xam ne dañu am interest pour liggéey am viable projects yi ba pare youth yi dinañ leen jàngal si métier bi si skill training ba pare oncle Lare Ceesay wax na fi tamit ne nit yi seen xelaat bi am na ku bindoon sax ma ne waaw mindset bi fa ñu change ko mooy youth si ndawi Gambia ñu bari dañoo foog ne pour nga dem nekk technicien loolu nekkul liggéey boo xam ne nit daf ko war a def pour nit dem def skills work loolu man damaa bugg a dem Babylon ñëpp dañ bugg a dem tukki so am na ku bindoon sax from Japan from an economic student la mu ngi Tokyo mu ne ma ndax UDP duñ joxe incentives pour youth ñu make sure ne pour wécci ko seen xalaat yooyu noonu loolu dafa am solo waaye lu gën a important encore wax na fii ne UDP suñu manifesto bi number 1 is youth because youth are the 65% of the population téeméer bu nekk 60% yëpp ndaw lañ so loolu tax UDP we have our priority agenda mooy pour empower youth si ñu jàngal leen there will be skills training there will be funding dinañ leen jox xaalis nekku that is just going to be talk but we will definitely diligently we cannot duñ mën a wax fii ne lu nekk la ñoo def lu nekk la ñoo defal pour youth si but we will try our best nguur gi it's not going to be under the current dispensation léegi gis ngeen ne Ministry of Youth and Sport they don't have much xaalis buñ dee am budgetary allocation to the Ministry of Youth is one of the smallest okay xaalis bu ndaw UDP government will not do this so wax na fi affaire lopitaan yi tamit bu ne lopitaan yi Gambia RVTH ñeneen ñi sax si jamono buñ toll nii ñi ni dañoo yóbbu seen mattresses si lopitaan bi doesn't have facilities keroog waxoon naa ko fii am na ku ma wax ne nit ki sooy dem operation surgical gloves yi yow yaa dem ut ko sa bopp amul lopitaan amul pengukaay strangers yi yow yaay dem ut da ko dee dem jënda so xaalis bu dee dugg gars yi ñu ko pësal pasar comme luñ pësal pasar xaalis si Covid bi waaye under UDP government lopitaan yi health centers yi we will try to elevate them into proper hospitals yi party leader bi waxoon na ko in Bakadaji so ko seetloo UDP Basse amut lopitaan they're all health centers Brikama health center dañ ko war a upgrade not only upgrade but xaalis bu war a dugga si lopitaan yi pour ñu am garab doctors du seen fay bi but ordinary nurses yi facilities kuy nekk Minister of Health under UDP government foog nga liggéey because wér-gu-yaram lu am solo la primary health care dinañ ko try to revive when nguuru PPP buñ fa nekkoon am na Sénégal ñu dee ñëw si suñu lopitaan but right now ñun ñoo dee dem Sénégal basic thing MRI scanners yi yëpp léegi soo ko bëgg a am rek dangaa dem Sénégal fay xaalis bu bari about 18,000 20,000 xaalis lot of money ba doole mënut a def loolu gis nañ ne almost on daily basis léegi jigéen yi ñu ngi dee si mato every day on Facebook ñu ne démba sa bam doon fetaan am na ku dee but young tey na gis Bamba Mass bind sax benn waa ji jabaram dafa faatu while giving birth for a child so this is really recording so UDP government dinañ prioritize affaire ndaw yi affaire wér-gu-yaram bi health te UDP luñ fi binda the voters will have to account UDP in 2026 suñ amee UDP government in 2021 am ngeen opportunity 5 years lañ am suñ ko defoon then we can be punished on the polls in 2021 lan mooy njëriñi démocratie because nit ki dangaa ñëw nga ne lii laay def comme am na ku bind from Sweden mu ne UDP ñu ngi wax lii yëpp mu ne talk is cheap wax neex na waaye ndax mun nañ ko def so luñ ko wax mooy waaw dëgg la talk is cheap that's why we have 5-year electoral cycle this is why dañu war a punish Barrow waxoon na lu bari dina wàññi sàkku maalo bi ñun waxuñ fii ne dañoo wàññi sàkku maalo maa ngi ko doon explain al Uncle Lare Ceesay UDP government duñ taxaw ñu ne sàkku maalo bi dañ ko wàññi what will happen is prices are going to be determined forces of supply and demand liberal economy lañ am waaye luñ leen bëgg a dig mooy marchandise yi luñ mën a dimbale consumers yi Gambians ñooy policies yoo xam ne pour dimbale comme for example wàññi taxes yi lot of sorts of subsidy to the supply chain you come up with policies waaye doo dem si marché nga ne waaw tey moom nguur gi dañoo def sako malo no nekk 500 that is price control UDP government is not going to put price control but we will put meaningful policies pour dimbale July waaye leneen la tamit we are not going to give July free hand Come Lola Nenga def, come Uncle Lola Pura, we have to revisit Pura. Because consumer protection agencies, come legi, give me an example. Bunwa hon fi July gain and fee the increased price of corrugate at iron rod si. Ñun buñ gëna rek wax lolu na Ministry of Trade bina na press release and ñu ne July dañu wara régler day régler lan. You don't give suppliers, businessmen free hand just because of free market liberal economy la ñam rek yow lolu la nga def. No, we will monitor the prices where the price consumers are not fairly treated. It is unfair to the consumers. We will have a functional consumer protection agency pro hamne defa ar ñoo xamne dañ dem ci marché. So UDP duñ institute price control. Ñu bari dañoo wax ni waaw dañ wara def price control. Price control baaxut. Price control so ko dugal ci economic rek impact is even greater than non-price control. So but nguur bu nekk Europe bi fii daf dee am. They give subsidies to farmers, dimbali seen pharmacy, so that seen prices can be stabilized. So loolu wax nañ ko fi wax nañ ci affaire agriculture wax nañ ci corruption tamit Uncle Lare Ceesay wax na explicitly ne nguuru UDP will have zero tolerance on corruption. Corruption mooy suñu feebar bi Gambia fan yëpp lu ñoo wax mooy Senabu Martin Sonko jigéen la highly educated, am na masters in public policy. The CEO koo xam ne dañ ko seen leave mu doon liggéey ak Talib Bensouda dem fan yëpp loolu la ñoo wax ñu ne dañ ko tuumal ne dafa njuuj njaaj xaalis boo xam ne $12 million benn réew benn doomi Gambien nga jël alal boo xam ne Kanifing Municipal Council ñoom moom alal boobu yow kenn nga jël du benn million du ñaar du ñett ba $12 million yow da nga dem sampa kër bu rafet nga yónni sa doomi university jàng waaye the rest of Gambia ñu ngi torox loolu feew so Talib Bensouda ñu ngi ko gërëm leadership bu mu jël ni président Barrow loolu la war a def gis naa NPP guy ñu ngi fen social media nte malo NPP nkolu malo na leka haji fan ya fola iko UDP la fo council member man sa kongo we corruption ke ngadi be kunta ya sa fola ñun fan ya buke mabo atol la man sa kunna me ya lon ko yalla alka Talib toni Talib funtitale mo tanin fula ya wala bay 12 people ya wala bay on corruption but atol la man sa kunna alla corruption be kegan look at fisheries Bamba Banja ya 200,000 mu nekata administrative leave sanji killing fe manke ji diplomatic passport scandal lo fera kata jam wala na America government sita ko hani mo killing e ma kitindi Uncle Lare wax na fofu tamit so UDP government at least Talib da ngeen ko wara gërem ne genana waxna ba pare mu ne CEO mo def li waye mu ne dañ jël file bi yóbbu ko Ministry of Local Government ak police because fraud dugana si but Talib lu mu def loolu la njiit di def si he cannot pass judgment moom du judge moom lu war a def mooy ne dem la ngeen togangum send on leave moom ak finance director bi this is what leaders do this is what people in ñoo xam ne dañ leen elect nii la ñu war a def to lii la Talib Bensouda waaye Adama Barrow nekku de def li Ministry of Fisheries lakana fi file si anañu the Fisheries Minister James Gomez nothing not reprimanded all right all these scandals going on Gorgimbu ñu ngi wax Gorgimbu Human Rights Commission wax nañ fi ne Gorgimbu should be away from anti-crime demba gis nañu ne IGP has redeployed Gorgimbu back to anti-crime so what is the use of that report that Human Rights Commission was they put it like a toilet paper it's not important so this government is not serious nguri Adama Barrow serious UDP ñoo leen tane fuuf ñoo leen gën fuuf there is no item of comparison lu Talib def nii su fekkee ne Talib defutoon dara muy cover of the CEO then dinaa doon lose hope dinaa wax ne kon de dafa mel ni Talib moom tamit su dekkoon minister permanent secretary bi sàcc def ko cover up waaye Talib came organize press conference lii gisuñ ko si NPP government when there is corruption it is said on social media when the corruption was reported at the Ministry of Fisheries did the minister organize press conference? No. Mustafa Kedabo did a brilliant job investigative journalist. In fact, we had the audios, we had all the information, but no press conference from the ministry, no press conference from the government. Talib Bensouda, definitely press conference. He met with the press. Them I'm not interview a pandering by Star from Star FM station. Definitely, he spoke to the media. On Unguri Adama Barrow, they don't talk to the media. with all this diplomatic passport, right now it's under the carpet. Today, driver Bobo Nono, Kunyo UDP, Mendala UDP, Amotra, Mansa Sumare, a la case, Abe Falale, because Mansa Sumare is now dead NPP, right? So, Nimansa Kunda, comment today, Adafatu Bojang, victimized. Yeah, victimized because of UDP column. Meaning Adafatu Bojang, Adama Barol agenda, Lahani 2 stars, Tafastekelal. But Nimansa Kunda, corrupt talent. So UDP Mansakunda Benke Jam Khalif. This lady, Senabo Martin Sonko, Sanji Muang Ikabedo Kola Gamtel. In fact, I Karanka University of Gambia, Abarajata Ghana, I do Koke Gamtel, Abarajata Bureau of Central Studies at Palace Kumastoji, Abarajata CEO. Say Ning B Amabem Fengofena and the mold telephone. Nge wasi telephone minister bi monema relax dara du sigena. Is this how a responsible citizen should behave? Yo nga ñu tubal la instead of nga dem clear sa tour nga dem ci court su fekkee ne yow defuloo dara you can sue KMC for whatever wala nga dem court nga clear sa bopp waaye yaa ngi laaxoo si gannaaw a corrupt minister muy na Musa Dramé because Musa Dramé moo gën a corrupt Gambia jaay na land si yëpp Gambia. So Musa Dramé génn nañ ne reporter lay buggee wax Gambia dafa nekk dëkk bu ndaw Gambia bu banque saate dinnati nii ni moo kilim fu la tax sabax naa ne aka funtele. So same on this woman ba pare jigéen bii ñu ne lii yàgg na si lii moo gën a si biti alright dafa mel ni you cannot disclose your sources, we cannot share all the information on public waaye tey dégg naa yu bari si jigéen bi fu mu dem rek he has this so you cannot just jiko kawar la loo ko dog dafa sax ma ñu ne fa jam daa jiko naa bee la ni tata daaw rek these things will come but Madam Sonko yow waruloo yaakaar Musa Dramé lii moo tax Afrique pour mu dem si kanam yow soo yaakaaree Musa Dramé because gars yi dañ indi lii yëpp Gambia xam nga lu tax affaire Gambia doy waar foofu nekk nii Gambia now is NPP UDP media bi NPP la UDP civil service bi is NPP UDP partisanship dafa yaaxa suñu dëkk partisanship yenn banko tiñale completely partisanship yenn banko tiñale fo sayin ñing corruption o fo NPP mo don be Facebook o wolu ñanta sel ka talib dondi ñing ko ko ba just because talib o UDP ko talib lo UDP la national organizing committee su banko la kodo su ñanta alman bala fa soto ko talib praise nga mol kendo be jele talib praise madi jobate wol melan ko non UDP nga molu jël mel yalla be safaro ke ka talib ben su la pre Sidi Sane man ba UDP Sidi Sane safaro ko ka Sidi ka talib ben su la comment NPP la ñi mu kuntangol mel yalla ko some of them are not even Gambians yalla ñu nekante kam fa wala na Gambian wala nga haklu to kal luntangol sembentu yanna banko kan this is it's so annoying for me to say this yalla nga ñu drop mo meta flale janne ko I am even running out of patience you drop ko nga information mention I'm still waiting for these people they are still doing investigation because intela fi internet dafa bëgg ñu tot ali kala ji ci affaire drop bi la fito kumu fulani bari nimmol membe do kola iba fulani ko mbatu kana fo say mbatu be yene fola you know and I'm running out of patience the limited information nga mention ni man diam tebe diam la you understand me because drop ko membe ke kan Gambia ni man sa kunda be dayrine ni man tra fem fo kan ni koken wala koto so ni muso itene be telephone to bi ba fola mol yeko iko nyanja also commend Taliban so thank you Janaba Jallow. This is Abaraka Bake Abdou Touré. Yalo munon tonyati. Gambia din kendolo. NPP modolu biji wolu. Wallahi ning falindoro kere nyanta wala citizenship fund jibela. Because ite banko kanu. 12 million. Say niaje B. Alko just because of UDP long. No, alinga na banko tamini nyina. Banko tamita chahan wala le. Bari nim mol la parents ol nata. Inata reki duntan kolonga na kaitol dila. Iten na banko value la ñine be na banko na problème oti de ñino gambe la problème oti momo itela banko di ya niata ya value corruption momo ñene ko corruption entertain ñi muso ñanta fan clair la le a Musa Drame niano ñi muso call even KMC can take legal action against this woman. Musa Drame cannot do nada about this. Musa Drame, this is beyond you. Itate bankoti. So niata re telebe ñi fokan kam musu because musu ni wala ba fokande. Nte se wose libe long UK jamne information la ko fota mo musu ni mo bari molien call ay ba fokan ko musu ni ñi ay mol ko la ka fe ko ministre bi mo ne sa dara do sikena. Iko atele afo. So na mafo ay na fan senen minister be call na masamane dara do sigena muna madam T suman jambo because you know why they want her to support MPP. They want this Senator Martin Sonko and family and support Barrow. For Barrow everything is about votes. This is the saddest part of it. So this is a fertile ground to you love family or perfect opportunity in their myopic way of thinking in the season heartless behavior. Haram ñu dem jël family bi nga ñu la family fa nantangi se ke Barrow support lati wallahi mbe ko makin folali Adama Barrow nga ñi kabere meta ñi analysis fola jang ita na ñi ko mo tala ni bi tatal seriously Adama Barrow rek mal la Gambia yenne ate bayila ibe tilimbali ya men tutu kan Gambia ate watila ni annual ni APRC du ñokono ndede suma yo nekko fa waxuma ñeneen ñi ni annual ni Rambo ni Fabakary ni Dudu Jawo supporting Jammeh and Jammeh lost election. Rambo was supporting Jammeh, Jammeh lost election. So what made you think Rambo and Dudu Jawo can save you? Sirin Jai was supporting Yaya Jammeh lost election. Because Gambia dimoli to na jare. Adama Barrow be ñim benki kan anu APRC kendol de support la na APRC kendol la audio moy le mel yalla ko wol ko you are not trustworthy. Go mo kendo man ñan Adama Barrow trust Adama ilahi di jelle buruka Adama ko atete APRC akate mo employee la ako I don't need them Yaya Jammeh asset sol seize sojarol be kali lay Yaya Jammeh bu hanisa be ji iko lawyer double yati na lawyer double bodo man sekunda Gabriel 2019 2 years time right APRC momo ko ka tama Adama Barrow le lota jang ako 2021 atete lola election ako I will not be part of this election. I will organize free and fair elections. I'll go back and do my business. These are the direct words of Adama Barrow. So ni Adama ka law aka kalimulu fari banku dingo momo ite ko correcta ite man hasi doti ite ko man kaput fe man kela isundo mo man fin yo amulo holbu bon nit ku normal lay wax de waxuma uti kay halis yalam banko dingol sifal siatale dolu bi je ñun dunya na fulo a jarete ko bel ibarakol be doyari ita sonna do ku kala ibugala fi ka bata e kala fi easy money la wo citizen sifal bi wo lekata in businessman ol ka friend ina man sakunda top official ol ka friend because barakol tela in dunia ko be do ko kala ita do ko so are be you work your ass off and God work you have la dignity la but in modo le be they are lazy.coms wala te ne ka boneke ika ifongol shuti and the press tamol la minister businessman people in authority ñeneen na banko batani bari Gambia ale nga tonya sabati na banko kan na de kuma kele na fala Gambia no le APRC be ñu kunta yamen na te lañu executive ma APRC supporter sol fo bela executive wala ibe kunta yamen na tem ila feta mona la ñangi ñi andum mbe dok la mi Ceesay kuma le fo bi brabe di amala yalo nendi rolom APRC and National Assembly le fo nen TRRC Truth Reconciliation Reparation Commission is set up by the Act of Parliament. So not only go witch hunting, but I'll go Gambia deputy bungo will witch hunt Samaran. Perfect response. TRRC is set up by an Act of Parliament. Deputy bungo will TRRC law. Is symbolic commissioner. So it will go witch hunting. What I'll go Allah APRC deputy will malform a National Assembly. They are part of that witch hunt. Allah deputy will be jailed. They all agreed to set up the TRRC. Allah deputy will amul nyasi wal matter parliament. They set up the TRRC. So how can you support a process that is a witch hunt? Almal al be mem fola. Fania nak assemble ka wara. E barobe nyim kunta ya menate. Wallahi Gambia din kendo de yalla ko baro manke mo kendati. Mo kenda daji ko tala de. Mo ni kenda yata. buka fisir wala yakete in this broad daylight bini aje ñun suñaro liñ juj ñaa dede kala because do ko le man takeri andum oncle Lare Ceesay kuma krim fajam America nolu yemol patienne European nolu yem patienne election la kana si iko man sakunda men beji iman corruption buka kele de toni ika votation le passing they cannot directly interfere in our elections ika fale ne ko sayal fedale president men sindi amanta corruption o kele kan ñimbe larin kene baleto and look at the timing of the State Department of report ale man sakunda jele reacta kunta yarek ibe kunta yalla doron yeah talking about ajibe man sakunda sobe o fo nyanda focus la aja fatu bojam prison officer couple kata wo bay ika ñina kunu kumbal Asan Jallo kete jarne a fertilizer scandal ya cover because ala musomu NPP leti bari se bula dindimer ise bula molnomo ordinary Gambia meme kika nye ba bankolom Gambiati kunu kumbalu ise luwa tinya men biate yake Adama Barrow lañu advisors be luwa tinya kan because they are advisors they are not NPP advisors Gambia no leke jo but ibe political econo ika campaign ko abl bari mana ne beta ñi dindi wo victimize to ñaala be fasala ando ñi this fatu bojam tay ni Gambia law le kacha yela case file court on fair dismissal ye men kela e non silo norma e ñanta investigation ite mo la video je la kunu ali ñi banko jama bire ki ye bay as a civil servant civil service ika wona ne ya mari won mana alma ay seto Ceesay bay mana nalman tala Mamour Diop la musolu bay wol fana be police le ika barole support muna na ñimbe kala anu ngami almamulu mbe diamo stop la jamne then I will take 1 or 2 calls if people want to call in afele tilimbali ya ben na banko kan almamulu be dairy be diam la oncle be diamo la imam Ceesay ateka diamo le man bakaw su fofana ani imam Sekou Touré membe dam nyamina ani imam Tomalu melkadiamu ali funti ali ñu condemn ali president wo yamari nabe molu police la e mo be police ñola president wo ya dabo ni civil service to akana civil service politicize ñi video man ñen na for state house foi ka instruction di ka ñi bondi nim prison fond la old entity le ya jeko ni ya da bolo je action ta without involvement of state house most you understand bari atolla molbe loi tinyala every day left right and center anye Gambia je tumando mbeka election le batu because I ni ko album batu December 4 Gambia de tilimbali amembe banko kam nimman Gambia nya fita na banko feel. This is an opportunity for us to remove this very useless government from power. Na jate kende abunda bele tinyata. Agriculture ite wo wote fola. Mol dunda nyola. Sefolo ni alkalo dunda nyola. Keni mol dundi nyola. The whole fabric of the government society is all messed up. UDP man sekunda ali chance the UDP man sekunda la na reform zamana anome diamo la prison officers all year ala hakiloto Gambia la security since alman karam yin binta jane fo malamuno nen ka fon te malam fo ibe prison director be bayla fate bayla barente ben recommendation of safra. Do you know whether tomorrow you can also be part of this ala hakiloto tilikilem bokatu malale musunni woni na video men gata 2017 alma police for sani 2017 beraketa hani woto loi tinyalo nde I have no problem in civil service momo loi break ye police because loi wole wolf bari manya na cherry picking kala to wabal kam ko cherry picking keba sabale be UDP le keba sabale UDP la constitution tinya ngo ha keba sabale mu bari ma balti atolo UDP la bari ma ti Finland ala nga tuji ye tungo mare na fana mu UDP le tungo e luati nyam ko ala nga tungo bay sato be dala mo nyaadi le andi ko ye kali bari yalon barola ko manya na jam fala ji baroma ala nya silango fon le soto tele jiroto en bitin ko ni an wal yaman kafu aliya fon kan ne manende ga tonyale momo ala nya silango soto ikasila kalola kalo barole kalijan ko abe gambiano kanyandira tech without fear or favor avoni andale kam so nin baroka cherry picking ke nel bakala side ay asad jallo fasa ko be muna balde kela woti ay aja fatu bojam victimize ay tala mamoudou jobla musulu ay will protect woto balo mangami amang tilingami no tema woto barola wo kago way menke out of office amata seriously andu ay crown leta baro bani mansata la tema just like la hidol bani mansata la tema ngane comme ni onko Lare ma fa nyala jang stars bon janne ya fa la kawando kono ko momo e la hido tinya nyaton ko man se kew surtout man se kew nyaton ko ko kilal ke tangale malaikol ka tank so baro is within that bandwagon ite ka sudo sino wala nyaadino la hidi tinya iman diamo de ma fu mori but injustice la ke Gambia so we have an opportunity Gambia ngolu nani mansa ko la fali dini opportunity ya baro ja be nyimen ke kan this is just the tip of the iceberg wallahi ni baro tambita jam alwaf la nyinte adama baroti say nyimu domal ngoti election be dan sile be mol bayla lo UDP ngosa hani yellow fongo ka dum official kono bo si so ka complain so anyway I'm going to draw the curtain here ala baraka baki thank you kara yakub ngolo fo jang tala the late mamu job la musu flol be ala musu kebana ala musu sabol de ngabe be police le ngamera ibebe barol ka fo kono bari te bayla because be baro yale all right so you are safe you are okay isi Gambia luwati nyale yo support ya baro bari ni mantara arabu wala UDP ne luwati nyare rek wala ne Mr Kante bay Kante ko lo ada bona dental police but we have seen people violating the laws in Gambia. They are safe. So I'm going to take the calls right now. Thank you so much. The Momo of the call in the next few minutes. I'm going to draw the curtain here. I will try to take one or two calls. Callers all of the country. We're going to draw the curtain here. Saturday, in the fundraising Saturday, the UDP chapter in Alajam. So already moduli comment ka pledge so D. Somebody called me at a pledge day. I'll pledge announcement on Saturday. So we will have a fundraiser here on Saturday. Inshallah, we're going to fundraising it. But Uncle Lare is it to back it for this program. Allah barakataki. And then for an announcement also, our Nyasi, Maja Sanya, thank you so much for facilitating this. My brother Kembo, maybe America. Yala nga fa jam ko kanyang programa men so mang programa mo so media na jola kamala awanyasi na tala singo nyasi dimu solom UDP abina bokala no program to kadiam jola kamala so we have somebody who is going to speak in jola and she's from Foni so the next program we will have somebody to speak in jola thank you so much Maja Sanyam for facilitating that on our behalf I call the big announcement of the so we have somebody our Nyasi Betalajan, Estuba Betalajan, Estubenjai Betalajan, and Suwakamala. So we have all these people adding Hajiswan. And in Fanangama Sunday, UDP la Bareba Balo of Betala Binto Bantava network, but in Tamari Tofola. Remember it'll follow the announcement. I think somebody is going there. So Binto Bantava, number UDP la Bareba Balo Betalaji. So Allah Barakah, thank you for watching. Thank you, Gandhi. Allah Barakah. If I don't have calls, I will terminate the program here until Saturday when we converge here. He said he will bring foreigns. Gambia is the ball in our court. You see what is in Uganda. Okay. Foreign securities. Baroyo I got foreign securities. Listen, Barano. Okay. Allah Barakah. Bio Manda Manasi Tonella. Dimanda Tonella. Banjul very, very nice. Bio Matao for Banjul very, very nice. Baba Lala. Yeah. Banjul very, very nice. Baba Lala. Okay, Allah Barakah. Thank you. I'm going to draw the curtain here. It was a very interesting show. the Uncle Lare Ceesay content back. We're gonna thank you to the listeners as well for facilitating the program, for listening to the program. Allah Bracket, thank you for watching. Allah Bracket, thank you. Thank you, Binta. Thank you, Binta Baranyina Baraka. Thank you, Konto Karamo Baraka. Baraka Baraka Muhammad Lamin Jame. Allah Baraka. Thank you, all of you, for thanking Baraka for Silitulo. Saya lero sudah tongomale election manjang for Bake. Alina na energy source. Momo ye kuku isake do buka votes the UDP la. We shouldn't lose this opportunity to get rid of this very heartless president, Alabama. Very selfish president for that matter. Very selfish. Alabama is overly selfish. Along MPB Nguru, Ikonde, I am obsessed with Adam Barrow. He has a personal issue. He's bitter. Yalong Gambia no problem. You are bitter. You're bitter against Barrow for what? Naimu issue le shuttle. You know, Adaji ko wole mandiani. Period. Adaji ko le mandiani. Adam Barrow is overly selfish. Dala harabali ko jama selfish to Adam Barrow. And if itema no iko jo bolaji. Dala mana nyinjere. Ite fonga ya lone ko president ya ma daji ko soto. Imano. Why can't you just leave our country and go and retire when you clearly cannot handle that position? Palaso didn't work it. Palaso didn't work it. I can't tell what managers of the Manchester United deal for your manage. They cannot manage Manchester United. Gambia is too complicated for Adama Barola intellect. But no. Then you challenge Domorbal Menke and Domoroke from and Siko coming Lare Ceesay. They are playing on the minds of people. Dolafoloka and taking things. Siko, that's what they are playing on. Let's hope it doesn't work. Because my work that Gambia will be calamity for us. It will be disastrous for our nation. Completely disastrous for our nation. We don't need that. We don't need tribalism. Thank you, everybody. Doko say where is Tungo? Tungo is in Gambia. Tungo be Tanje. Falma Almadi Jam Tungo ka be Tanjele. Tungo be enjoyment of Gambia. Tungo is having fun in Gambia. So Wandifa is around, but Wandifa busy never this week for the program okay no. So I have a Thursday program of the Malako, not on say host, I will see whether I'll do program on Thursday because Saturday they can fundraising, so maybe Thursday we'll have a late night political perspective. So on Thursday, if time permits, we'll try to see one day Father Sunny kind of slot Thursday evening, late evening, not in the afternoon, not evening. So we'll see how it goes, and if I will have the energy to do it. But then go pata PJ la donate challenge. UDP go ala post yara bag. So I'll challenge the Facebook. But PJ and donate to I'll always challenge them. Nancy Sao is the troublemaker. Nancy is behind all this. Nancy Sao is a troublemaker. Nancy is a big trouble. At any Sizzler. It's like a new cool be orchestrate. It's like a new cool be mastermind. All this drama. Yeah. Nancy no problem, lady. Nancy is a big problem. Nancy like a new will be mastermind, so na preta this is la wala execute. But iko musen ni woni vauna da apology ga yalon tonyin do media. Iko baba jale tonyin do baba jale on confess la ka le pata PDM neng. So mama zai the name is Pacha. Ugo musen ni go buka fono pata. Awale Pacha. Yalong. alabe UDP la kumpoto le saying it'll go on a confess ko it'll go ngane ndiro ko ala ngata doro mazata la manda sino la Jojo Ndour dina ñëw lekk si benn cin bi nag dina ñëw sa kër na lekk benn cin wala supa kanja xam nga lan nga si aaye yow ban nga gën a aaye beneen cin lan la supa kanja wax ma si benn xam naa ne sa loxo saful sa yow man ku munu tooga daal du ma lekk sa lekk nag man daal mu saf waaw su fekkee ne aaye loo si waañ wi naal du ma lekk sa lekk de man suma cop moom du ko dee caaxaane lan ngay tooga man dina ñëw fa ak Lamin Konaté ñu ñëw AEC ñu ñëw lekk si supa kanja bi la waaye Lamin moom benn cin la buga man supa kanja benn cin yëpp la laay man Jojo Ndour lan ngay tooga Jojo Ndour mu ne def maa investigate loo ma investigate man duma baro nga war a investigate bàyyi ma man awma sa national cake bi man am private citizen loo ma investigate do ma fay salary loo ma investigate barol bi sa broda la demal nga investigate kooku moo dee lekkat $150,000 bés bu nekk loo ma investigate dina ñoo lekka si life bi nag ala barka baage thank you. Oh, but that's sad news coming through. Dole ko Imam Ceesay kala sister banta in Gambia jara tonya taba. Meha. Oh, jara Ceesay baraka mo kalamta. Mo kalamta. Alawani manin ko barkula. Mbe songo konton Imam Ceesay ya. Sad news coming through. Alama ala so jara to feel rousey. Ko Imam Ceesay in Michigan. No matter long. Alas abari muso ko wole banta. Jara tonya taba alaba ne manin ka fulkala jara Ceesay takki folati mi no alama ne manin ka fulkala alama alayas aten senola Gambia be kandere mbakele nyawato Gambia be kandere mbakele alama okay ala baraka bake so I'm going to terminate the broadcast here sad news filtered through la baraka bake thank you Bandit Ceesay baraka thank you Alama ne man ka tala alama alayas senola heartfelt condolences to Mr. Ceesay and the family.